Welcome to the Mobsters podcast. Please be aware that the content of this podcast is primarily social commentary and represents the personal opinions of the hosts and guests. It is not intended to be a statement of fact or an official stance on any issues discussed. This podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only. We encourage listeners to seek out professional advice for any factual matters or decisions. Listener discretion is advised. You guys are tight on your sponsorship, bro.
It's not for free.
Rwenzori has enough advertising as it is. They have a whole mountain.
Piss me off. Are you pleased with yourself and your joke? You are.
Actually, a biggest banner. They have a biggest banner without any word. Wait, who is Rwenzori?
The water or the
Mountain.
mountain?
I mean, the person it was named after.
I think it's.
The mountain.
Hey,
The
that one's a
mountain was
traditional.
named
That one's a
after-
traditional.
It was already there.
Yeah,
Like Naluva already.
yeah.
Aye.
This is. Oh,
Then when they came,
Come
they
here.
gave it a dead name, bro. Mountain of the Moon. Or Mountains
Of
of
the
white
moon.
people, bro. White people.
That's such a dead name, bro. I won't lie to you.
Not in Margarita Peak has that like shape.
Yeah.
Am I?
And
Actually, no, actually,
because
it's,
it's so high. I think.
no, I think it's called Mountain of the Moon based on the shape. Let
Of
me
the
check
mountain?
it out.
it looks like a moon.
There is like a portion on that mountain which is like it's shaped.
How
like
can a
moon.
peak be round?
A peak?
Yeah.
Man, you never know.
Yeah, we've jammed.
Okay.
Let's record. Let's record.
We
Let's record.
confirm the cooking,
Are we the recording?
the recipe.
You already recording?
That's
Eh?
why it's here on
Yeah,
my
we are.
side.
Am I in frame?
Very much.
Your forehead is there.
Okay. So,
Hi.
hi, bruh.
Hi.
This Rwenzori thing has made me wonder. Do you guys think that the region where Rwenzori is,
A belt.
no, the mountain where it is,
Okay.
Oh, here is the reason.
uh,
Mount Rwenzori is called the Mountains of the Moon due to its snow-capped peak, which were believed to shimmer rather, like the moon.
Yeah, still, that's a dead name, bro.
snow-capped peak, eh?
Yeah.
Whose phone is ringing? Whose is this? Yours?
This body.
Who's calling?
And it so saves. The number is not.
Bruh, do you think that that region somehow makes money from Rwenzori selling its water?
No.
Is there even a factory there?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Do you think it should?
Rwenzori water is currently made by
I
Coca-Cola.
don't think so either.
Why not?
The fact that it's called Rwenzori water, and they're claiming that it's over. The water is gotten
So,
from the water, which
so you
is
think that
flowing
that
down
you
the
believe that,
Don't even
that
claim
they are
No, they
copyright?
don't claim that. They just say it's pure natural mineral water.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, it's water collected from, which is flowing from the mountain as snow is melting.
You know how expensive this water would be.
That's what they say. It's ozonated, multi-barrier filtered, and UV treated underground mineral water. They did.
Yeah.
Cholesterol would be fire to have.
They would be capping though.
Yeah, I feel like a region can copyright something like that.
Can they?
Under
Like-
who? And under the Ministry of what?
Not even the Ministry of.
The district.
Owned by the.
District.
Yeah, all the
But it's in
traditional.
more than one
like-
district, right? It's even in more than one country.
Yeah, but is it not
Trying
all
to think of
considered like
other
the
brands, bro.
Rwenzori.
region or something?
Rwenzori region. I
Because
don't
if
know.
that's what we are saying, then we should say like Prosecco should earn money from every
Champagne.
bottle of
Exactly,
Prosecco
champagne
sold,
should
bro.
The
earn.
champagne region and earn from every bottle of champagne.
I
That comes out
doubt.
of champagne.
I don't think
Would
so.
you say?
Should they?
Rwenzori-
Tequila then.
Uh-huh.
Would you
It
say?
comes out of Mexico. They earn.
Yeah, but like
They earn something.
I think, yeah, as
Or
long
at
as
least
you
they are
keep it.
acknowledged, bro. No one drinks this water and says, man.
Rwenzori is
man,
fire.
sorry, bro.
Right now you're saying it.
They are now completely separate, bro. You think of the two things as complete separate things.
Actually, I never ever hear the word Rwenzori and think
Mountains or
the mountain. I
Yeah.
think water.
Mm.
Yet it's even on the branding. There's a mountain. Bro.
But then, okay, who earns then? Like
Surely there's a
the
mountain and
I
a-
feel like the
LC5.
mountain- Whoever owns the mountain is the one who's supposed to pay Rwenzori.
I don't think
And
they-
no one
you can't
owns
own
them.
a
Yeah,
mountain.
because it's like Rwenzori bottle is more like a sticker, or rather a flyer which is moving around.
I see your point, but I wonder like, okay, who earns?
Advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be the Gavo.
who would get that money?
Yeah.
Local government. that-
How, bro?
The government is getting its tax, so
Exactly. So I don't think it's straightforward.
Mm.
Because then, if that's the case, man, we have to pay for a lot of things.
Then,
Yeah.
that's a random topic, bro.
I have a question before we even start.
Yeah, shoot.
Have you guys watched in movies where people
Wendy, please help me make sure I'm not in frame.
yeah, you know,
Not in frame.
Okay.
where people are like they're trying to set up a bomb and that bomb is supposed to go off after someone calling that phone call.
Yes, as a
But do you think that-
detonator.
do you think that thing can happen in Uganda?
Properly.
Yeah.
I think
After all
that-
these buffet guys overcalling our phones, guys may call a wrong number and then this thing goes off.
Yeah,
Have you
but
ever thought
no,
of
the
that?
thing is, they know the number that
Yeah.
they're calling.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like what if they call that number on accident?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
call randomly.
I'm
While
they
you're
calls
still
you.
there fixing it
Yeah,
up.
but
Yeah.
Amofele doesn't get the numbers from
That's
like a random entry into the phone.
Where do they get them? Yeah, last week I got a message that said, "Kongs, you have got a job. Please contact da 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 and pay this fee for da 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 da." I got a message.
I
It's a job
think
you never applied for.
this is my theory.
Yeah,
I might
and
be
I
wrong.
had to pay to get. They told me to pay
I
some
think
money.
Those guys be having a connection in like a
100%.
telecommunications company that has a database and gives them the active number.
Not just that. Even like some of these companies where we apply for jobs, I think people in there sell that information to these guys saying these are people who came in for jobs. You just send them messages. You never know.
I'm nishing, looking
of
for
them
a
may
job,
send you.
and you expect me to have money to give you as a con man.
People are desperate.
Yeah.
If you don't ask for a lot of money, you ask for like 50 bob, 20 bob, 100 bob. each
Actually, it
person.
can compound, bro. Especially if you get like guys above 70. Those ones who don't know. You tell them,
Now
bro,
a
they're going
70-year-old
to...
is one who applied for that job.
There you just say like they're going to chop off your line if you
Yeah.
don't. Some just like
I
that.
told you guys, were trying to get my granddad with that jazz. R.I.P. Before that was our number one stress on his mind before he passed by.
Sorry,
Like,
People
man, my
keep on
line,
calling
bro.
me.
sorry.
Can someone help me reconnect my line? They're going to cut it off.
Oh,
These guys used to
babes.
make a lot of money from these people who would call claiming to be princes or princesses who are stuck somewhere and they need like a certain amount of money so that they can get their money. Guys used to steal people from that.
Did you see
thing.
that Travis Scott thing?
What?
Some guy texted me, he's like, I'm Travis Scott, I'm stuck. Can you send me over 50K? He's like, prove you're Travis Scott. And he just sent fiend.
Actually, speaking of those scams, those email scams, I remember sometime when we were in I want to say we were in S5 or S6. I think it was
Like
S5.
phishing emails.
Yes, we were still in S5, in fact. And we had this literature teacher, an old lady. Why have I forgotten her name? She was an old, strict lady, but she was such a good teacher, bro. One of the best teachers I've ever had. And in a holiday, one of those emails started moving around, and they were basically like impersonating her and saying she had gotten stuck over in Finland, some just like that, and now she needs our assistance. If we can just send her this money so she can come back home. We were so and back then it was new. Like we hadn't yet got a
Phishing
dip to
scams
it,
were
bro.
new.
We
You
were
guys
like,
paid.
Oh my god, man.
Yeah,
Then
but
of course
Got your
you guys
parents
said-
involved.
No, guys started checking. Yo, have you seen this message from so and so? Da, 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 da. Of course, it became clear that it was just cap. Her email had been hacked or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of thing is not kawa, bro. Whenever I see those messages of Musimanya, verify your thing, and I'm like, when did I last log into this app?
Yeah.
Whoever is trying to use my Steam account,
Steam, what is Steam?
like every week, bro.
What is
That
Steam?
guy tries to log in from
Download
Brazil.
games.
Steam, the game thing. Guy is always trying to log into. Same guy, same IP.
But what is in, let's say, what's the worst case scenario if he hacks into that app?
Steam.
Yeah.
It's connected to my bank account. It's
I
my
see,
bank account,
yes.
bro.
And
So
buy games.
the guy can buy games, bro. It just sends you a message like $20.
The same account.
Yeah. But now I just created a new one.
Bruh. You have an icebreaker for us.
Should we do the DVF thing?
Yeah, we can do it. Oh, we can do
Diane.
it. We can do it. Let's get it out of the way.
Diane.
Because it's not even long. It's not
Okay.
even long.
So, for those who don't know who DVF is, I found out today that boys didn't know.
Yeah.
DVF that's the name of the brand.
Yeah. What does it stand for?
Diane von Furstenberg. That's her name. The brand is called DVF.
What do they make? Because I think I've seen that.
Clothes. Women's
seen that
clothes.
brand
I've seen the.
Don't confuse it with DKNY. That's a different brand.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it came out recently, like a couple of weeks ago, that her, I want to say 80-something-year-old husband, billionaire husband, is gay. He came out of the closet. They've been married for a hot minute. Let me confirm his name. But yeah, it came out that he's gay. So basically, she has been like a beard, quote unquote, beard. They call them beards. Chicks that knowingly marry gay guys for like, they have some sort of arrangement. So like for the guy's protection or for societal
Yeah.
perceptions, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, rumor has it that her first husband was also gay. Her first husband being the F of her name, the von Furstenberg something of her name. So I told you about it, and you said you had something to say about the whole notion of bearding and beards.
Because for me,
It's
I'm
mad
not
that
gonna
they call
lie.
it beard, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, man. Billionaire or not, like at 80 years, I'm not leaving, bro.
What do you mean?
As in, we've been married for how long? And now you're telling me you're gay. Kawa, man. Good to know. You're still my partner, bro. Until we die, man. It's too late.
Yeah, at 8 years, it's
We're not
nuts.
leaving now.
How old is she?
Do what you need
She's
to
also
do.
the same age range, 70
it's
something.
nuts.
Come
Like,
on,
there we
come
just have to
on. I
stay.
also
bro.
can't
This only makes sense.
Yeah, clap your
I think
cheeks, then.
50.
So they've been married
Anything
since
beyond 50.
2001.
Yeah.
Their relationship began in 1974, experienced a separation in 1981, and reunited in 1991. He's called Barry Diller. And they reunited in 1991 before marrying a decade later. In May 2025, Barry Diller publicly came out as gay at the age of 83. Despite this revelation, both Diller and von Furstenberg have emphasized the depth and authenticity of their bond.
Yeah.
Diller described their marriage as the miracle of my life, while von Furstenberg noted that his coming out was not a surprise to her, highlighting their 50 years.
Bruh, obviously, bro. Like, she definitely knew.
Yeah,
Maybe
she
he came
definitely
out to
knew.
the rest of the world.
Yeah.
But she probably knew.
Broke him out of the
Yeah,
closet
I won't
with
like-
cobweb.
2001 to, and that's not when their thing began, bro. 2001 to
now,
2025 is
24
long.
years. Yeah.
At 1974, even longer,
And
bro.
bro,
Like,
the type of wealth that we're speaking about here,
A B, the
it
B.
goes beyond our
I'm not
preferences,
leaving you,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
Like, that is a completely separate topic.
Yeah.
And
And
they-
this marriage.
they have probably had their arrangements as well. Like, she
Yeah.
knows.
100%.
I think she has known the whole time. I think she knew going into the marriage.
They have
think
kiddos?
let me find out.
So the guy came out trying to marry a man.
No,
No,
just came out.
just
to say,
came
"Yo,
out."
I'm gay."
I don't even
No,
think
it
they are
don't make
separating.
sense.
He was
It don't
just
make sense.
he was just announcing to the world his
He just
truth.
said, by the way, man, my preferences, man.
And you guys care?
Yeah.
That's it.
People
We're
care.
talking
Like,
about
I've
it
been
right
married
now.
For the last 30 years, it's a bit
People care.
It's a
No,
bit
like,
confusing.
like, do you care about the information?
People care.
People care because of who his wife is.
Yeah.
And I guess who
People
he is
care.
as a billionaire.
Yeah, okay.
Me, I couldn't care less.
Yeah, that's
People
just
care.
news.
Yeah.
Just jazz. Just gossip.
they don't have kids together. She has 2 kids, and her 2 kids are from her first husband, who was a prince, an aristocrat. That chick attracts a certain type of
Okay, but
Bro.
low key.
She marries well, bro.
Like,
I can't blame her.
like I find like an aristocrat babe.
an aristocrat and then a billionaire. She's not doing. She's not
And
suffering.
she tells me why I'm gay.
How old is DV, the brand?
The brand.
Yeah.
Let me find out why.
Because I'm trying to figure out how long she has been rich.
Oh, the brand. Okay, how old did
Yeah.
you give the brand?
You're an aristocrat billionaire and you tell me you're gay. I'm marrying you.
Pause, bro.
I'm talking about a babe. A babe.
That's the criteria.
Okay,
So
the brand was founded in 1972, making it 53 years old as of
I see.
2025.
She has been rich for too long.
She has been rich for
That's
bro.
a
She
century,
was
bro.
married. The
That's
VF,
low.
the von Furstenberg, was an aristocrat. And she married him in 1969.
So what even like do aristocrats still exist? As in, do they even still call themselves that?
I don't think
I
they're
don't
even
think
gay,
so,
bro.
Like 1969 is like 5 years after independence. You think? Like guys were still colonized. bro.
Aristocratic.
That was an aristocrat, bro. Yeah, no,
Aristotle.
she's old enough for this not to matter, bro.
Yeah.
No, and I'm sure she knew in 1991 and in
Even
2001.
earlier.
And
Yeah, even earlier.
yeah.
And because it seems like he might have also been gay during a dangerous time, even the first guy. A dangerous time to be
Yeah.
gay.
A dangerous time and a dangerous position. You might think that, as a billionaire, I promise you it's harder. As a poor man, no one cares about you and your dealings. As a billionaire, stock in your companies can dive just because you've announced that you're gay.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
And we're going to talk a lot about stock diving.
Yeah. I was like, that's the perfect segue, but we
Yeah,
haven't
yeah,
yet
yeah.
started the pod, bro.
Welcome back to our Mobsters podcast. I'm Melvin,
Sydney.
Windeck.
Casper.
and this is episode 149. Correct?
I like that number.
149 you like? But you didn't like 148? Some guy said 148 was his count up now.
Yeah, and he replied and said, I hope you passed it.
Yeah. How's everyone feeling, man?
It's a good day, man.
Yeah.
It's a good day. Funny enough, long week for me, but a good day.
Okay.
While everyone else had like 2-day work weeks, bro.
Yeah.
Bit of a long week for me, but feeling good, man. You?
No, for the first time, I think in like maybe 3 weeks, I came here with a bit less energy. My energy was just a bit like
Hello.
low. I don't know why, but I'm feeling good now.
You were hungry, man.
I think I was just hungry actually because I just had a bowl of porridge for breakfast.
You're still making porridge?
Bro, come on, man. Today was my first time making more than one bowl in one pan, bro. You know when
What
you're
porridge
making
do you use? Like that Nami thing?
Numa.
Numa.
Yeah, Numa. He's Numa. Shout out Numa.
Nami is mad to say.
Anyway, before I even get into how I am, bro, Casper, why don't you do the honors?
Hi, guys.
Go to action.
Yeah. Hi, guys. If you're a mobster, welcome back. If you're new here, welcome to the Mobsters podcast. Yeah, an amazing audio-visual podcast available everywhere you get your podcasts. Available on YouTube, Spotify, everywhere. Also available on social media, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, the Mobsters podcast. If you have something to tell us, feel free to DM us. Secondly, for those who have access to Instagram, in our highlights, we always have that, because some guys are shy, right? We always have the anonymous sub link. There is a highlight called anonymous subs, unknown subs, I think. Feel free to go there and send us a subs during the week, whenever something comes to you, whenever inspiration strikes. Now, Patreon. Patreon is an app that facilitates us, our presence, our survival, our thriving.
A porridge Melvin B is
Numa
eating,
porridge.
Bro. Like, yeah.
Bro, that shit
Yeah.
not cheap, man.
Is that
It's not cheap.
Patreon will get you access to 2 pods a week. Access to Patreon exclusive episodes on content, which we are working on. It will also get you access to a backlog of 200 plus episodes, early access to merch, early access to whatever events we are planning or cooking, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 USD a month. We're also working out a way for you to, if you feel like there's a pod that you would like to listen to in particular, we're figuring out how to do the one pod. You pay for one pod and watch it. And also, most importantly, we turned 3 this year.
Yeah.
On our Patreon, we still have those 3 pods up. We
Three
gave
free
3 free pods on Patreon. All you need to do is add us. The link is in our social media bios. It's also in our description of this video down below. You'll find the Patreon link. Just add us up. Join the free tier. You will have access to 3 whole podcasts.
Yep.
Maybe they'll influence you to pay. But yeah, man. Hi and welcome.
Welcome.
If you guys notice that now you can upload a video on Spotify,
Yeah.
That's new,
It's been a feature for how long? Like 3 months?
Not sure.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's been there for a bit.
I feel like Joe Rogan introduced that thing. Am I bugging? When he did the Spotify deal?
Could be.
It actually makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the one who introduced that thing. Anyways, bruh, I think we should start with Strictly Soul, man.
Go ahead.
I think we should start with Strictly Soul. Where do I begin, man?
Stop, please.
Where do I begin, man? First of all, let me just start with a shout out to all of the mobsters and the patrons who I met at Strictly Soul, bro. Like, I swear,
It was a mobster event.
bruh, the mobsters were there. You'd think that, like, guys listen to the pod ahead and knew that we were gonna be there. Because I think I said on that pod that I was going to be there. But the pod dropped on Wednesday, and Strictly Soul was on Monday.
Yeah.
Strictly Soul, man. I have such mixed feelings now on this event, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because on the one hand, I love R&B music, and I think I love the crowd that attends Strictly Soul. On the other hand, I have feelings about the way this show has been organized in the past. The organization always kind of like leaves me kind of like, it's one of those events where you're not going there because it's a spectacularly organized event. You're going there because some way, somehow, you just keep having fun. That makes sense, despite the organization.
I think that's why you said you love the people that
Yes.
attend the function. Then.
I love the concept and I love the crowd.
You don't love the execution.
I don't always love the execution. In fact, I haven't loved the execution before. But this version here showed me that I've preferred some of the execution in the past to this one. I'll explain. So this year's edition, this is the first edition this year, I think.
Is it? Where was the 1921?
Oh, yes, 1420.
1421, yeah.
Was it this year?
I don't remember.
1920.
But let me...
Yeah, the 1421 was, I think it was this year.
That was this year. That was this year.
Because this is the second edition of the year.
Is it always that DJ? That's the one?
Yes, so it's him, but I think the other guys also.
Yeah.
I think Cas Baby might have DJ.
Yeah, Cas DJ did this one. I saw that.
So I didn't attend the 1421. I'll make that disclaimer. Because I was a bit tired now of the event. Like I had attended the first two, and they were in quick succession. So anyways, this one was at Mestille, and it was in the Mestille garden.
Yes, in the tent.
Gardens. So they set up a tent, yes. Different like alcohol stalls. They definitely tried to do a completely different concept. I think in the past, people complained. I think in the past, people complained about the capacity of the venues that they were choosing. Because they first did it at Golden Hill in Muyenga. People complained that it gets too packed.
Yeah, I heard that one was packed.
Yeah, people were complaining that it gets too packed and there's not enough seats. Then they did it at 1420. Similar complaint, too packed. So this time they said, "Easy, you guys want space? Let's give you space." They gave us basically a football pitch, bro.
Yeah.
Size.
Mestille Gardens are
venue.
big.
Massive venue. So I guess their intention was to address that thing. Secondly, the seating situation. There was much more seating this time. Many more tables. And you know, in Uganda now, like I guess we talked about it on the pod we had with the boys. Like, guys like sitting, bro. Guys having a base. So they did that. Unfortunately, it ended up having the effect of making the event feel like a different event. Not like any other event, though. It's still its own thing, but it didn't feel like strictly soul to me.
Right? Strictly wedding? What was it?
It was very much strictly like reception, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was. That's what it felt like.
That's what it looked like. I don't know if it was your streak or something.
Yeah.
Or I saw someone's post. It looked like a wedding.
You know, like
That's how it
this
felt.
Bebe Cool's album listening thingy?
Uh-huh.
I feel like it felt like that.
It was also in a pitch.
Not really, but guys were just seated listening.
Speaking of the pitch thing, I think that's another place where they kind of like... Their intentions were pure, but I think they should have announced it beforehand that it was going to be in a pitch.
You thought you were going to be in a
Because
hall.
90% of the chicks
Were
came in
heels.
heels. And so many of them ended up having to either like change their shoes because luckily chicks be having shoes in the car. And the ones who couldn't just did not have the greatest time. So maybe they should have also done that ahead of time. Anyways, calm. Guys arrived. People sat. Now the problem was the tent was big, but there was seating outside the tent as well for guys who hadn't booked tables and stuff like that.
Wait, so they got this 100-seater, this big ass like tent.
It was a big tent.
Yeah.
It was a big tent, yeah.
It was a bigger tent. It was probably the size of this place, man.
It was a massive tent. Yeah. So there were tables and chairs outside the tent as well.
Yeah.
Now the sound outside the tent was not good, bro. You could not hear the music outside the tent. Just so I pictured like you're at a reception and you've walked outside the tent. That's what it was like. Yet you've gone there for the music. You dig. So that was definitely like one blunder they made. But secondly, because they had set it up now for because you see, Strictly Soul is usually a standing event for most of the time. Guys have the table just for maybe like drinks and they just keep going back to the drinks and then back to the center, back to the drinks and back to the center. So now, instead, they had set up the tent to be tables all around, then the DJ booth in the center, not the center, but in the center, and like a aisle where guys are supposed to stand if they want to be in front of the DJ booth. Right? So it ended up being a thing where guys did not go to stand in front of the DJ booth for such a long time because it was in the center of the tent. So it felt like you're just being watched by everyone before you come into that makes sense? You're just being watched by everyone before you come into the dancing area, basically. So guys didn't go in front, man. The music started kind of late. I'll say like the music was playing when we got there, and I got there around maybe 7:30 towards 8. But the actual DJ sets didn't begin maybe till like 9:30, 10. Correct me if I'm wrong, man. You guys who are there, correct me if I'm wrong. Anyways, so those were my issues with Strictly Soul. But as it usually goes, when the drinks start flowing and you start meeting people that you know,
You forget all the problems,
and you start to vibe out.
Yeah.
So honestly speaking, I had a good time. I can't say for sure that I will be attending another Strictly Soul. I cannot say for sure. I think that I need to like
detox.
No, I think I just need to see the concept and for it to look like something that I want to be at. I actually don't know why they wouldn't come to Silo. I think this would be a perfect location for Strictly Soul, bro.
It could be actually,
I guess maybe
yeah.
because Silo is so like lit already, maybe it doesn't. But at first, I think this would be a better venue than what is it called?
Still.
Than 1420. It'd be a better venue than Still. And you see, I get it. Ugandans, we like to sit. Not every event is a sitting event, bro. Not everything has to be a lounge. Some events are for standing, bro. And walking and vibing. You dig? Anyways, that's it. Strictly Soul was dope. I met so many mobsters. I vibed with so many mobsters. Of course, standard procedure. It was beautiful women there. It was the music. I might need to save this music part for Patreon because it can get personal. But like, listen, I feel like Strictly Soul should be aiming to then try and be a bit more interesting with the sets. The sets just sound too familiar, bro. I'm not gonna say the sets are always the same, but the sets are too familiar, bro. Like, or too similar. So like, it's one of those things where unless I'm late or until I get late, I'm not enjoying the music like that. But interestingly, the first set that gets played, he's having some new bangers, bro. The first set is always the most experimental. It's almost like the first guy DJs has like the freedom to just try things. And the rest are just kind of like, bro, like, I've had this so many times. Like, guys be even knowing what's coming next, bro. Which is nuts, man. Yeah. Anyways, man, that's my Strictly Soul review, bro. Anyone else who was there, let me know what you thought and what your experience was. But for me, I eventually had a good time. I don't act like, I don't want guys see me and then be saying, man, he looked like he was having such a good time, now he's complaining. I had a good time.
We saw that guy blasting, man.
Yeah, if you saw me blasting, that was me. I definitely had a blast. I was one of the last guys to leave. So, like, I blasted and even overstayed. But, yeah, I don't know. Actually, my favorite takeaway from Strictly Soul was I tried a Tanqueray. And I don't think I'd ever had.
You never had a gin?
No, I never had. There's one called Sevilla.
Oh, Sevilla. No, that's a lovely gin. I won't lie to you. Lovely gin.
What a drink, man.
Yeah.
It carried, bro. It carried me, man. It carried me.
It helped with a good time,
that
bro.
might actually be what caused everything. That caused me to have a good time at Strictly Soul, bro.
The Sevilla is nice.
Yeah, Sevilla is a good drink. Anyways, yeah, man. So that's Strictly Soul. That's a review.
Yeah, man. Didn't go.
Yeah.
Went for Smirnoff, though.
But were your boys there?
No.
Any of your boys? No? Okay.
Yeah.
how was
Strictly
that?
Soul is not the event we would go for, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. But I went for the Smirnoff thing. I won't lie, I had a good time, but not because I don't remember the DJ sets. I don't remember anything. It's just you, your friends, good time.
Okay.
But to be fair, I sat through like half of it because I realized maybe standing events like concerts and stuff are not for me anymore.
Okay.
So there's a point where I got exhausted and I just like went to the car and started like scrolling on Instagram, bro.
Mad.
Yeah. But I had a good time. Yeah. I don't remember anything about the event. It's literally it's the same thing we went for last time.
Yeah.
Met a bunch of mobsters as well. We had
the piano thing. Who was the headliner? Don't you remember?
Yeah. might have come on when I was seated, bro.
All I know is my dad came home that night and was like, there's a bash at Sheraton. They allowed me to park inside, but I almost didn't come out.
Now, people were many, bro. People were many.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It's just, I think I'm done with like concerts and them ones. Yeah. Unless I'm with the boys, nah. Had a good time though. Running into a bunch of our friends, Aru them, the Katoto guys. Yeah, we had a bunch of people there as well.
Nice.
But there was a Champions League final that night as well. There was the Unity Cup final as well that night. So it was, I missed the matches, bro.
Was this our first sport since the Champions League final?
Yeah, the Champions League final was the day we were recording.
Okay, to be discussed.
You're discussing Champions League today. You're not. You're
Okay,
not.
let's just discuss.
Let's go now.
No,
So-
you guys.
The Champions League
You
final.
guys,
Oh,
we are not doing 2 hours.
spectacular,
We're
bro.
gonna do it quick, real
Yeah.
quick. The Champions League final was wild, bro. It wasn't as wild as expected,
It was wild.
but it was wild to witness, bro. Like the Champions League, for anyone who doesn't know, and I don't know how you would know, maybe if you don't like football, but it was PSG versus Inter Milan. Two very good teams, to be honest. Despite what I've said about Inter Milan in the past, like it's a solid team. They have both had not the easiest runs to get to this final.
PSG beat 4 English teams.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Inter, we just saw what they did to Barcelona. Gave Barcelona the game of the season and won. So we expected them to like come and show up again in this one. I won't lie, it was not direct. And if we were just talking great, Inter seemed like the greater team before this game.
Yes.
PSG had the sauce. Inter had the great. Brother,
It was a
the
beating.
final result was PSG 5, Inter Milan 0. That is the biggest gap in a Champions League
Ask
final
you a question though.
ever.
Wasn't this final like 2 weeks ago?
It was last week.
Last week on Saturday.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the biggest gap in a Champions League final ever. Thoughts?
I have no thoughts, bro.
No thoughts?
Yeah.
It was just sad.
Because I didn't watch the match, but like, when you're just receiving your notifications and you're like, relax.
I watched the entire match. When my dad came back from
From the
Sheraton,
bash.
he came and we watched the game together. No, bro, like it was brutal, man. It was brutal viewing. The goals just kept going in and in and in and in and in and in. All the Inter guys who had been balling out were locked down, ineffective. Dumfries, nothing. Lautaro, nothing. The guy who was trying was Kolo Muane.
Rando.
Yeah, he's with Inter, right?
It was called Mulwana.
Muane. Kolo Muane.
I had the guy who was trying was called Mulwana.
No. He did his best.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, but besides that, man, it was just kind of sad viewing, bro.
Yeah.
It was a bit of sad viewing.
Funny enough, I I love the Champions League.
Yeah.
But the one I wanted to watch the most was the Unity Cup final, which was Jamaica, Nigeria. Nigeria won.
Yeah, I know. I saw the clips on TikTok. Guys don't take anything seriously. Those two countries, guys do not take things seriously.
The rice battle.
Yeah.
Nigeria won. So the Unity Cup is basically all countries that have like a big population,
Diaspora.
well, particularly in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, so you know all the cultures that are there. So the final was Nigeria, Jamaica. Nigeria won. And the banter has been funny, bro.
No, it was too funny.
Funny.
Both those countries are too funny.
They arranged a bunch of Jamaicans in the streets, bro. Made them do that Nigerian dance. You know that
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Now that you've had a boy podgam here and I'm just yawning and looking at you, do you feel bad? Do you feel guilty?
Not at all.
You'll learn to get involved. Next year you'll also be like, man, that's what the goals were done.
Someone texted me and asked me, I don't know what you guys said about Cole Palmer, and I knew him, and they asked me, why do you know Cole Palmer? And I was like, because he's a famous person, as in. I don't know.
You've seen.
Cooked here. I know someone cooked here.
Hey, someone cooked here.
You've seen
Like
those
this,
memes
the
over
guy
here
who
Mbo,
taught
when
me.
you try to create a bet power account with your girlfriend's email, but it's already registered.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, because that guy is sad,
No, wait.
bro.
She's planning for your birthday, bro. Birthday trip, bro. She's
Go
betting every weekend.
whenever you guys are here jazzing, but that guy is injury prone. I'm on bet power, making
Yeah.
decisions and
Yeah.
moves.
What killed me was one of the pods you weren't around.
Uh.
A patron comment. I am Casper. We are glad you're back.
Yes,
These boys talked
have been
about
talked about
football.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
And this is not a game for us to talk about too long. Bro.
Yeah.
Like PSG won the game. Dembele needs to win the Ballon d'Or, but I don't know.
Yeah, but Spain, France got.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won good day.
The young boy with braces there who has something to say about it, man.
Moving on swiftly from
You know
football.
Lamine Yamal is?
No.
Mansuri. What was that name? Mansuri. He has a third name.
Yeah. Better find out who Lamine
Me.
Lamine
What
Yamal
is
is.
going to add to my life?
He might be the next
Sauce,
like
bro.
Messi, bro.
What does that have to do with me?
Is it?
Those conversations
You'll
of
be
Cole
telling
Palmer.
us.
You'll be jazzing
You'll
us,
be, you'll
man.
be in an interview and they'll be like, "Who's ya?" You'll be like,
Why would they ask me who
Oh,
la
there's
la la
nothing
la
like
la
Because they have
is?
made you
What did you say
regional
name
manager
is?
of
What did
Bet
you say
Power.
his name
You
is?
need to
La
know
li
who
la la
Lamine
la.
Yamal is.
Lamine Yamal.
Lamine
What they call
Yamal.
this?
What did you say, Lalanga?
La li la la la.
What do they call these tests that guys be doing?
Aptitude.
Aptitudes. They can ask that.
They can never ask you that.
Okay.
They would rather ask you how long it would take John and Mary to clean a 60-foot
Who
square
won the
room.
Ballon d'Or in 2025?
0%.
Because they have told you you're going to be head of league for Bet Power.
Yeah.
You're a fool. Bye. On to other things.
Yeah.
Trump and
That's where we're starting from.
Elon
I
Musk.
think we should do the other thing first. We should play the game first.
Okay.
Yeah, let's play the game first.
Guys.
First of all, before we even play the game, acknowledge me.
Uh-huh.
Acknowledge that you tried to cheat me out of my points
When?
and that I'm the one who won the game.
Last week.
PLE.
No.
Oh my God.
When they won the game?
Who won the game? Windek has just
I
come.
thought you guys were tied. Were you not?
Do you know that in the pod that they were counting them? Like they literally were tallying them.
Uh-huh.
Windek, who won the game?
This guy won, but I also noticed that you skipped me.
I skipped
Hey!
you.
In a
You
round,
missed
eh?
a question, eh? Don't worry. We are not
This
doing that
time.
today.
Okay. But first of all, first acknowledge before we do.
So if you skipped, and then that means you and Wendy would have
Clap.
tied.
Well, don't
I'm
talk
not
through the
clap.
clap. Don't talk, yet you made that mistake. Don't talk to a clap. Aha. Ready. So what's today's game, man?
Today we're doing MJP spelling bee.
Who gave us the words first of
Clap.
all?
Wonderful.
Me.
Wonderful.
You got the words.
Yes.
MJP spelling bee.
Don't bring words we can't say.
At one point,
No,
you
I'm going to
can-
give you now. Can I give you the rules?
Okay.
Number one, we're going to have 4 rounds. The first round will be a sample round, and then 3 examined rounds.
Okay.
Number 2, I'll give you a word, I'll give you its meaning, and then I'll use the word in a sentence. Then you
cooked.
spell the word.
You've cooked. I tell don't make us do those things of saying the word, then you spell, then say the word.
No, I am a boy.
Also pronounce it the way different cultures pronounce it. If I say, man, how do the Vanyankole pronounce it? How do you pronounce it? If I say, how does that?
Are they all in English?
Yes.
Could have brought some German, you get?
Okay.
Some Ruchiga, you mix it up.
So
Let's have
all the questions are just spelling bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, just spell
We're
it.
just doing
Today
spelling.
we are
bee today.
spelling, bro.
So are you guys
Embarrass
ready?
ourselves.
Also include some acronyms at one point.
Okay.
Acronym.
Well, don't worry.
Future ones.
I'll do mixed work. Next week we might do mixed work.
Yeah, cool.
Okay. Are you
Yeah,
guys
yeah,
ready?
acronyms.
So this is going to be the sample round, right?
Okay.
Melvin. Euphoria. Meaning a feeling of intense happiness. Use. Winning the award filled her with euphoria. Spell
A
euphoria.
meaning of what?
Eh?
A meaning of what? A meaning of what? What's the definition?
A feeling of intense happiness.
Also, you should have said HBO series.
I was going to say
You should
Sydney
have-
Sweeney.
You should have said, you should have
Zendaya,
said- Isn't there a
HBO's.
Kendrick song called Euphoria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kendrick song. Euphoria.
That guy's word is dipped in
I
culture,
know
bro.
it's
Yeah.
so easy. Continue.
Euphoria.
Uh-huh.
EUPHORIA.
Correct.
Euphoria.
What's I going to say? You know how when you're learning in class, the example they give in class is always ABC. When you reach the exam, A squared plus B times X
Yeah.
is equals to
Yeah.
QC.
Find why.
We should have
Why is
made
not
this
even
Yeah, don't be mistaken. Okay. Sydney.
Yeah?
Iniquity.
Yeah.
Meaning lack of fairness or justice. The report exposed the inequity in access to education.
won't lie, the way you said it at first shook me.
Eh,
Till you said the meaning, it shook me. INEQUITY.
correct. Clap. Snap, 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 snap. Wendy. Dialogue.
Dialogue.
A conversation between two or more people. The film's strength lies in its sharp dialogue.
Not to be confused with choir log. like what we're having right now.
Yeah. Dialogue. It's DIALOGUE.
Correct.
Wait,
Now-
isn't there like one of the English swear that you at the end isn't there?
One of the what?
When it's white.
Must be
Like it ends at
American.
G.
Must be
One of the
American.
English.
Must be the
Anyway.
Americans.
Time to start tallying.
Question: if I spell like the American way, and
With
we're
a
able
Z
to prove
instead
it,
of a-
does that?
You were colonized by
Does
the
that-
What
British.
English did you learn?
I didn't learn any English.
You learned British English.
No.
We're
From
decolonizing
P1
on
to
this
S4.
pod.
Oh,
Sorry,
We are decolonizing on
what
this
do I
pod.
speak? Okay.
you're
British
spelling
English.
I
center
don't speak British
with
English.
RE.
Center. Yes.
It's supposed to be ER.
See. I see. Those
we've
are
started.
challenges.
We've
So
started.
at least-
I can promise you this.
At least,
Center is not there.
at least if I prove.
But if
That-
Let me tell you,
organization
the
is
types
there,
of words I got,
Aye.
One meter.
that nonsense is not there.
Okay, fair.
Okay.
So we're ready to start tallying. We're going to have 3
Open
rounds.
space, man. Let's first see from Melvin's
Round
word.
1.
Okay.
Marasmus.
That's not bad. Yeah, marasmus.
What was marasmus?
A disease.
Is it like lack
Okay.
of what?
I don't remember what vitamin
Some
B.
vitamin.
Number 1, Melvin. Let's keep it cute. Q. A line or sequence of people or things. We had to queue for hours to get tickets.
That's why I see this word every day on Spotify.
Yeah.
But why are your questions like ingrained in this thingy?
The fact that you guys have given nothing
are
that makes it
like
spelled it.
consuming.
So I understand why it's such a confusing word. Q. Q. U. Q. Q. E. U. No. Q. Q. U. E. Q.
After saying how we still it every day.
Okay, I get it. Q. U. E. U. E.
Correct.
Yeah. Brother.
Hey.
It had dribbled me. How long did it dribbled me?
Meanwhile, this shit said, "No, let me keep it cute."
Yeah.
Cute.
Cute.
Should I also say you eat?
Sido.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aqueous.
Banai.
Containing or related to water. The solution was aqueous in nature.
That is a hell of a word. That's a hell of a word, bro.
I have 2 spellings in my head, bro.
You might need another bottle of water for that one, bro. No.
Okay, AQU, I, or US.
Is that your final answer?
Okay, move that O.
Both are wrong.
AQU. Huh? Aqueous. AQU. I.
You're getting the aqua and you're trying to start from there.
Yeah, OUS, man. I've gone with that one.
Incorrect.
That's not I.
Instead of I, it's E.
It's E.
I'm so
My wakasanke.
I know you're
That one is not there in this one.
This
bro.
one is not there.
So what's the spelling?
AQUEOUS. Aqueous.
It's an E instead of an I.
Yes.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough.
Wendy. Today there's no, what did you call it? Wakasanke?
No wakasanke.
That one. Okay.
Okay.
Today is not there. Wendy. Uvula.
What?
Uvula.
You?
Uvula.
You're not giving.
Why are these guys all getting
I'm
the
getting-
simple
I'm
words,
getting
Uvula is a simple word.
the small fleshy
Yeah, be
extension.
tackled on yourself.
The small
What is
fleshy extension at the back of the soft palate, which hangs above the throat.
Oh,
That
the
cavity which
dangling
dangles
thing.
like this. Yes, that's a uvula. Example: the doctor checked my uvula during the throat exam. It's that thing at the back which
Uvula.
Yeah.
you're a full throat exam by a doctor is pause. Anyway, uvula.
The start is what's gonna play me. The end, I mean not the end, but the start. Uvula.
That's a hell of a word.
Is it like euphoria?
It's
having silent.
wait, it's having silent E's.
Uvula.
If you ever, but people still read lyrics. If you ever saw the lyric version of WAP, they say that word.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she said that his thingy thing is how you
Yeah, I remember that.
pause.
It's a bit nuts. Though.
Let me just spell it like this.
I don't know.
Uvula. Uvula.
Get a word.
You.
I've got nothing in the newspapers. Swear, bro.
U.
Yeah.
V. U. Okay, U V U E L A R.
Huh?
Is that your final answer?
Can I try to write it?
Yeah.
Mental
I
work.
didn't write Acquiesce, man.
Right in there, yeah.
Okay, let's just.
Yeah, close my eyes.
Lord Voldemort, man. You have to start here.
Okay, it's U V U L A R.
You almost had it. It's UVULA. Uvula.
There's no R at the end.
Yeah, there are no silent letters.
Damn.
Right? Tricky,
Yeah,
right?
that was a wild choice. Those
And
two
by the
ones
way,
are
just so
field.
you guys know, I picked the words.
Yeah.
Yeah, like every single word I picked it.
Do you have Webster on your phone, Chichi?
No, I
Before
picked.
you know the spellings of all these words.
Yeah.
You knew Acquiesce. You were chilling with it in your head.
Okay, well, in what context? You've not used the name of those words on this podcast.
Oh, man, this bottle is Acquiesce.
And by the end of this pod,
I've just told you that uvula is from the
in
WAP
fact, I'm not even
song.
going to say by the end of this pod. By the end of the month, not the month, the year, I need you to use at least one of these words.
Okay.
Uvula.
Next round.
Chick is going to add
Not
the
even,
song to the
not even
queue.
at least one. I need to use all of these words on this
Celes.
podcast.
Celes.
Guys will do it as a bingo game.
It's
Bro. When she
Celes.
says a word, we take it.
Next round. Round 2. Melvin. But this even might be easy for him because he did literature. Spell the word onomatopoeia.
Hey.
Meaning a word that imitates a sound. Words like buzz, clang, bang. Basically, onomatopoeia, these are words that sound like what the sound is, right?
Yeah.
Bang, ting, buzz, onomatopoeia.
That
So
one
a
is going to
restaurant.
kick my ass. Yeah. That word is going to whoop me. That word is going to whoop me. Let's get the onomo out of the way.
We know ono.
Yeah. O-N-O M-A T-O P-E-A.
P-E-A. Incorrect.
Correct.
Incorrect.
I'll give you one more try.
Okay.
Onomo. O-N-O M-O-T-O-P. I don't know, it's giving like diarrhea, bro. Okay, let me just say I-A. Let me just say I-A this time.
First of all, the second time, this second spelling, you said O-N-O-M-O.
Huh?
Yeah, the second time
Onomo.
you said onomo. Are you going
Instead
with
of
onomo?
Instead of onoma.
Are you going with onomo or onoma?
Onoma.
Onoma. So you you're going with onomato. P.
P.
Uh-huh.
Is it double P? I'm trying to read you now. I'm trying to play games.
You know that but you do know that in my life I've mastered a dead stare. So yeah.
Okay, let me just go IA.
It's wrong. It's P-O-E-I-A.
Yeah, I thought it was some shit like that.
Onomatopoeia. On-no-ma-to. All of that is straightforward.
Yeah. At the
P-O-E-I-A.
end. Yeah, I told you it was like diarrhea.
diarrhea.
What are all those letters for? Bro?
Yeah, it was like diarrhea. I remember it being like
I
diarrhea.
intentionally picked words with stupid vowels.
Yeah, that
Stupid
is
vowels
silly.
vowel
Now I can see Acquiesce in my head with
Yeah.
the E.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, the I was dumb.
Yeah, that one I knew I was going to bear me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sydney.
She's damn but she says it.
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. Meaning present or found everywhere. Sentence. Smartphones have become ubiquitous in daily life.
Think about
Man, all my jazz is somehow. Okay, ubiquitous. U-B-I-Q. U-I-T-O-U-S.
Correct.
Yeah.
round 3.
No, we're still on round 2.
You could have gone with omnipotent. They have the same meaning.
Great. You think you are a Christian boy? If I can give you omnipotent. Sure. You know that word too well.
You can't.
Wendy's round 4. This is his thingy. Second round, right?
Second round, yes.
Okay. Wendy. Euphemism.
Yo, are you trying to make me fail all the words?
Euphemism. Meaning a mild word used in place of one that may be harsh. Sentence or example. Passed away is a euphemism for died.
To be fair, you did use euphemism today earlier.
I did use euphemism
Euphemism is
today.
not one you use. But acquiesce.
Yeah, actually,
Acquiesce.
she didn't have subtitles turned on.
Man, sorry,
Never
man. That's
saw
how
it.
life is, man.
That's true.
That what?
Yeah.
When you were speaking, we never saw subtitles.
When I was speaking, you're a fool.
Have you guys ever wished to have controls in your life?
You know?
To slap, man. There are some decisions I've made.
Continue distracting us from euphemism.
Okay. It's always the beginning which plays me. Okay, I'm just going to take it with EU, PH, E. Is what? Say it again.
Euphemism.
Euphemism. EU, PH, E, M, I, S, M.
Correct.
Correct.
You know, back in the day, I used to spell it with a Y instead of an I. Yes.
We are all now at everyone has 1
On
point.
one.
This guy has passed all. Hey, Aquarius.
No.
Aquarius mixed me, man.
This is the final round,
Okay.
and yeah, I decided to take it easy for the final round. Yeah, but I did.
Okay.
Melvin, your word is bureau, an office or agency.
One can mean. I tell you now, if they make it bureaucracy, hey, it's over.
She works at the tourism bureau downtown.
Bro, I hate this one. You didn't see me in my office trying to write this one sometimes, bro. Okay. Now it is bureau.
Yeah.
B-U-R. B-U-R-E-A-U. Bureau.
Correct.
That word can mix though, I won't lie to you. That word can mix.
Bureau.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bureau is a hell of a word, bro.
It
Whoever
is.
decided bureau can't be like actual English, bro. What is
Should
it?
be B-U-R-O, bro.
I think it's like is it
Like
from
French or some
something?
stupid shit like
Must
that.
be one of those words that was transferred, bro.
Old
Probably.
Latin.
Okay, now the rest of the words are going to seem so easy, but it's not intentional.
Okay.
I just structured the last round to be the easiest.
Okay.
Sydney, naive.
Naive.
Mm.
Naive.
Use it in a sentence. Sydney is naive.
Naive, showing a lack of experience or wisdom. Sentence. She was too naive to see through the scam.
Okay. N-A.
Scam. Pause.
In what context would she be seeing through
Through the
like,
spam.
what does he
Huh?
What do you think this is, bro? Things are biology.
N-A-I-V-E.
Naive.
Yeah.
Correct. Wendy. As for you and your claps.
Yeah, you have to acknowledge the homies.
Wendy. Your word is epitome or
Epitome.
epitome, depending on your pronunciation. A perfect example of a particular quality or type. She is the epitome or epitome of grace and professionalism.
Epitome. E-P-I-T-O-M-E.
Correct. So all of you have two. It's a
Tiebreaker.
draw. You want a tiebreaker?
Yeah.
We give ourselves words.
No, you want a tiebreaker. You want a tiebreaker for today?
That's going to like
I won't give you a
men's
tie.
rare.
Really?
Spell.
That's not English. Tiebreaker. Aurelia.
No. Let's go on with the pod, man. You can't select such a word.
Okay, let me pick a different
Meaning, what
one.
Aurelia mean? Nah, that's a good
Nah,
one.
that's
'cause I
a
have
good
no
one. Go with
idea
it. Go with
what
it.
that
But that's
one-
not an everyday word.
Yeah, it's not the point of a game.
No,
is
it's not
everyday
like
word.
it's not like a word that you use in English. It's a name of a thing, a random thing.
It's kawa. Is it spelled in English or not?
Yes, a golden colored jellyfish.
Aurelia. It's a golden colored jellyfish. I want to start.
The marine biologist studied an Aurelia off the coast of California.
That's sweet. So the tiebreaker is all of us spell the same word, then
You
the...
tell us who's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Can you also tell us who's closest to right?
yeah.
If someone gets it,
Yeah.
Auntie, she'll
I'll
us
tell you who got it correct.
if someone copies the
What if there's someone copies the other?
Yeah.
What if it's an obvious thing?
Can we
If you
move?
all
Yeah,
spell
if
the
two
same
guys,
word.
if two guys spell it correctly,
Mm.
then
Okay.
if everyone spells it the same way, then we have another tiebreak.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, Aurelia.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Said it's a jellyfish,
Yeah.
golden color jellyfish.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so silly. I won't start with AU. Golden colored,
You're a fool.
To be fair, you've cooked.
literally.
Yeah.
AU.
Aurelia
A.
from Auram.
AU. RELIA.
That's your spelling.
Aurelia, yeah.
Sydney, what's yours?
To be different, I'm going, oh.
I didn't because it was because of gold.
Yeah.
Yours is because it sounds like oh.
Yeah. ORELLIA.
Interesting.
The same as his without another L.
The same as Sydney's.
Without the double L.
Yeah.
Okay. And the winner of
There's a winner. Someone spelled it correctly.
yes. And the winner of today's MJP spelling bee, Hamuza Melvin.
Let's go.
Fair enough.
Bro, this guy is now almost an hat-trick
Deduction.
next week if he wins the next one.
Yeah, deduction.
It's a
It's
hat-trick.
by deduction. You have to AU.
Gold.
The symbol for gold is AU. When you come there, backwards.
I can't believe that actually worked. That's nonsense.
That's so dumb with that
That's
one.
funny.
So now guys are going to be there and be like, they're going to wait for me to use Aurelia during the course of the next 1 year.
Nothing that you apply in real life.
Yes.
We should go swimming at the
Unless he's
coast.
a marine biologist.
Yeah.
Okay.
She went to Lake Como.
You're a
Yeah,
that's fresh
But
water.
that species
That's
might not
fresh
even
water.
be
Like,
Nah, when I'm
I'm
wearing
like,
my rings, right, man, your rings are giving Aurelia. I forgot to wear my rings.
Don't tempt the
just
guys.
remember.
People have been loving your ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where my Aurelia right now. I want my Aurelia.
Guys should spam Aurelia in the comments.
Yeah, that name is
Aurelia.
Aurelia.
You know what would make more fun? Make this whole thing more fun?
Yeah.
It's like guys should type their answers in the comments.
Yeah.
Right?
Before we actually spell the words.
Actually,
Man, our audience is too smart. Guys
yeah.
be knowing everything.
Guys be
bro.
knowing. Guys will be like, you guys don't know Aurelia.
Yeah, like literally I have Aurelia
I
in my
know
house
they are
right,
going
now.
Right
to
now.
Like that's my
me
daughter's
for
name. You know.
Aquarius, eh?
Okay,
Oh,
you're gonna
Aquarius was tough.
They're going to cook.
Aquarius was
listen.
tough.
By the way, they were all like, guys, it's obviously Fajil Mandi. Let me tell you, when we
Fajil
had this microphone-
Monday.
bro.
That
We're
is
not-
the name
I was
I
like,
meant,
yes,
bro.
yes.
Brother.
Definitely Fajil.
Yeah,
Monday.
it's Fajil.
Mahati.
Yeah, that's
Monday
where
was
Yeah.
Mahati.
that's
When
where
that
Mahatma Gandhi started
Nice.
from.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
made
Fajil
Mandi.
Monday. That's the name I
Oh
meant,
man,
man.
no, that was so funny.
Yeah.
That was too funny though. But yeah, guys, thanks for playing.
Mind you, we have
And-
such a big community of like teenagers that are mobsters, bro.
Yeah.
Also, at Strictly Soul, a bunch of teenagers came up to me saying, bruh, you need to have someone from our like
Demographic.
on the pod. Tell me, man, there are mob guys who are mob lit.
Do you mean an actual teenager like a 17-year-old?
Yeah, this guy was actually 7. This guy's 19. But
To
he
be
said
fair-
you have a big listenership between 15 and 19 of
To
the
be
pod.
fair, there's
don't
a
be in
time I don't know what I was doing on the socials, and I saw my little cousin. She's like 18 or 19, and she was like liking all the things. I was like,
That's
oh,
cute.
sweetheart,
That's
yeah.
Cute.
So let me ask. I want you guys to tell me. You guys watch from school? Are you in
Or they're
international
in
schools?
international schools, or
Tell us. We need to understand, man.
Well, last week we did like 30. How comes that today we just did like, just 9?
because last week we did a 2 hour and 47-minute episode.
Oh, it was long. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
You guys remember those spelling things?
Is the way the words
Like
were
it's-
going towards
what was it
Aurelia.
Hey, things were getting hot.
Things were
Even-
getting hot,
What was
man.
it called? What was the exercise we would do in school where they would make us spell words?
That was an
You
exercise.
spell words out loud.
Hangman.
We would write. The teacher would say the word and would write it in our books, and then after that she would write the correct answer.
I know what you're talking. It was an English thing.
What is it called? Spell work? What is it called?
It must have been. It was an
Spelling
English.
I only
exercise?
remember mental work. I don't remember that.
There was an English
What was
thingy.
mental work? What was
Math.
the format of mental work? It was math.
Yeah,
Mental work was
math.
mostly math.
Really? What was the spelling thing? They used to write them on the board. It would be 10 words. That teacher was just, it was called the spelling exercise. Should walk in
It
and
should
say,
have been, yes.
spelling exercise. They're like, Then they start.
Now, for me, that was
Word,
my
word,
shit.
word,
I'd
word.
be like, when they say mental work, I'm like, bruh.
Yeah.
But spelling exercise.
Mental work was nice, man. 62 times 5.
Then we would exchange our books.
Brother.
And your neighbor marks you.
I
neighbor marks
remember.
your
Yeah,
spelling
yeah.
exercise.
I remember.
Have you guys seen that meme of Ungo? It's a video, Ungo. When your neighbor is marking your book and then you see him putting his hand to ask the teacher, what of if the guy writes? What of if someone writes and your
I used to
face?
hate those guys.
Like, sir,
Oh,
what if
when-
someone has written
Or when your
this,
neighbor would be having like a real internal conflict about like
whether to
marking
give you a mark?
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, be easy, bro. Like, it's not that if you see a guy like,
Or like you just hear the guy going.
let me give you something. Like, let me give you
As
something.
in,
Guy, you
God,
failed everything.
God
bro.
forbid the exercise out of 10. And that
Yeah.
guy's like, man, I give this guy
Let me give you
2.
something.
Now, us we used to sit with babes, not guys. Babes used to be mean with their
Yeah, then
marking, bro.
some babes
Babes
were just, they didn't care.
mean,
They
bro.
didn't care whether you passed, whether you failed everything, bro.
I mean, if you're dumb, you're dumb.
See? Children are not
Anyway, before I don't know if we're jumping. I don't know if we're jumping straight into Mobsters subs, but I think this sub came in. It came in a bit late. It came in today morning.
dumb. Okay.
I woke up at 6 and it had been sent in an hour prior, so like at 5
Yeah.
a.m. today.
Wait, is it funny or is it?
No, it's a serious.
Okay.
We save funny shit for first
Okay,
tea.
okay.
No, it's not. Okay, I don't want to say serious, but I want to hear you guys' opinions.
Okay.
As a former student in the School of Humanities and Social Sciences,
Chas.
I studied different ideologies and theories like realism, idealism, Marxism, and feminism, to mention but a few. And based on my educational background, when it comes to the theory of feminism, I feel like the world has lost the plot. Feminism strives for equity for the girl child, which I fully support. But all that has been pushed to the side and has been substituted with a general hatred for men. Feminism focuses on uplifting women, but it has been turned into a competition between men and women where men are portrayed as the villains. The current breed of feminists focuses more on the vices of men rather than on the actual spine of the whole movement. It is not a competition. Let us stick to the script and uplift the girl child rather than turn this into a me versus you type of situation. That is not the point of the movement. We all have our flaws that we need to address, and let's stick to the script first and create an equitable environment for both parties, especially the girl child. Thoughts?
Equitable.
Iniquity. That was my
Iniquity.
word. Yeah.
Who wants to take the lead on this one? Will you close?
I'll close.
Okay.
I would also want to know, is this from like a guy or a babe?
We don't know.
I don't know, but
It was an anonymous sub.
but it's
Sounds
yeah,
like
it
a
was
chick.
anonymous.
Okay.
Does it sound like a chick?
Sounds like a chick to me.
Sounds like
It
a chick to me as
guy
well.
to me, but okay.
Anyway, man. My thoughts on this. I just think that every movement or every idea has like, it has its extremes. They're always going to be extremists, no matter what the idea is. Like, so it's no surprise that there are some extreme feminists. What they call them, radical feminists. Like, radicalization it exists no matter what the idea is, bro. There's radical capitalists, there's radical minimalists, there's radical,
Marxists.
no matter what
they
it
are
is.
freaking radical environment conservationists. Like
Yeah.
someone will tie themselves to a tree
Yes.
and say if
The
they're
cause
cutting
is
the
good,
tree, they are cutting
But when you
me.
tie yourself on
Yeah.
it, those be steamrollers.
Yeah.
You might die.
They're radical nudists.
Yeah,
You're not lying.
Nude
You're not lying, bro.
Not a p.
Yeah.
Then use a hanky, bro. Use his hands. That's how nude he is. But
you're a
so
fool.
I'll say like it's no surprise that there's a lot of radical feminists. But also I'm one of people who doesn't really believe that there's a lot of radical feminists. I just think that radical feminism is it is kind of encouraged. It seems like the thing that the group kind of like, what's the word that I'm looking for? My words sometimes leave me when I'm on the spot. But it seems like the thing that is encouraged among the group for you to utter radical feminist statements or behave like a radical feminist, especially online, to kind of like side with what the radical feminists say. That's not to say that you don't have some feminist beliefs that you stand by, but most of the shit that the radical feminists be on, not a lot of women would be on, bro. Like, not every... In fact, radical feminists are the minority, bro. Mm-hmm. But their rhetoric is the most popular.
It's the 80-20 rule.
I think so.
Could
like
be.
20% of the people are making 80% of the noise.
Yes,
Yeah.
but
I think
also
it's something different as well.
It's
What?
almost
Yeah.
like they've...
There's the other one as well.
There's the other one that while 80% of the feminists make 20% of the noise, there could be 20% of the radical feminists are making 80% of the noise.
So maybe we can just say that like 20% of the feminist rhetoric is being like pushed by the radical feminists, and so it has ended up being like that is what the feminist jazz is, right? And of course, because it is radical, the people that are receiving it are opposed to it because they feel that it is too radical. That makes sense?
Okay.
But I don't think that that is all that feminism is, bro. So while I agree with what the person was saying, I just think that like it can be a bit misleading. Especially like, because for me immediately I just went to like what the jazz is online. That's why I'm calling it the rhetoric. I don't think that that's all that feminism is. I forgot what the guy even asked, so I can't even answer that question directly.
They were saying how it's now mostly pointing out vices of men. It has become a men versus women type thing.
Yeah, on the men versus women thing.
Like, and men versus women, like, as opposed to striving for creating an equitable environment, it's men v women. And the weapon of choice is the vices. Men do this, men do that, men do this, men do that.
Yeah, but see, that's another thing. Because like, many things can be true at the same time, bro.
It's not a monolith.
Yeah, men be doing things, bro.
The feminine experience is not a monolith. It's a multitude of things.
But first
They're
even chill
spending a
that.
lot of time together.
It's
It's funny that she's also using the word monolith.
monolith, bro.
Oh, what?
But I use
Also
monolith
using
a
the
lot
word
on the
monolith.
pod. I use monolith a lot in the pod. But because men can be doing things. I genuinely think that also, like, they're not wrong in pointing out the things that men do. Because men be doing things, and men have not been held accountable for a long time for some of the things they've done. And at the same time, that's not the full picture, if that makes sense. Yeah, I keep losing my train of thought. But yeah, you guys go ahead.
It's an interesting sub because, first of all, I do not think there is any...
Oh, wait, I remember what I wanted to say. Lastly, in closing. I also don't think that you can, like, separate the men versus women aspect of it. Because even if we're striving for equity, that essentially means that there are two sides that need to be balanced out to some extent.
Yeah.
So it will always be men versus women, but like that doesn't necessarily mean that like we are in combat. You dig? It's almost like we're trying to find a good balance, but we're not fighting against each other for that balance. That makes sense. Like, you're not trying necessarily... Feminism doesn't say, let's take everything from the men, and the men are also saying, let's take everything from the women. It's saying, let's find a way for things to be more, like, equitable in society. So it will always still be men versus women. But I think that sometimes with the radical feminist rhetoric, it can seem like, nah, let's destroy this whole shit. Which, I mean... We can have a radical feminist on the pod and she'll tell you there's some shit that needs to be destroyed, according to them. So
Why did you look at me when he said that?
Because the radical feminist
You
is
love
here
your
already.
you love your turn. Anyway,
That's I'm dead.
so you go ahead. Sorry for cutting you off.
Nah, I actually don't remember what I wanted to say. But what I'll say is this. I don't think there is loss of plot. I think radical feminism stems from the fact that women have not been heard, and sometimes you have to go extreme to be heard. Does that make sense? Or understood? So there is a reason as to why it's there. Yeah? regarding the men versus women thing, I was literally going to what you just said. So like, you can't separate it. And I guess, I think for me, the one thing I have is, I'm a man. Yeah. So when I hear the women hate men thing, and then like a lot of radical feminists say as well, you should not be touched if you've never done these things or if it doesn't concern you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, cool. But still when I say, when I hear like I hate men, I'm still going to feel some certain type of way. Like I know I've not done the things you're talking about, but I'll still feel somehow. Yeah. But again, it's not about me. It's not about my feelings. It's about the equity and what's the other word? Quality and equity.
And avoidance of iniquity.
That one.
One down.
But yes.
I've used it. Bro, how am I going to use Aurelia?
I need this glass to be aqueous, ma.
I get some aqueous in my glass, bro. Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
But yeah, I don't think it's loss of plot. I just think it's women have been pushed to the corner for so long.
Yeah.
In that they have to be radical, to be hard, and to get out of that corner. That's my opinion. So I think there's a place for feminism in society. It has always been there. No one is going to stop that. I had something else to say, but I just skipped my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's loss of plot. I just think if you have your belief, do it the way you can. The radical feminists will have the energy to fight that fight. And if you're not radical, you can still be feminist by doing what you're doing. You get? That's honestly my opinion. I had another thing to say, but I've forgotten it.
You know what's funny? Sometimes the feminists I see in real life, they are so vocal about this whole thing of trying to fight the patriarchy. That's the one thing I know about the feminist.
Yeah.
You know, which I don't believe that's what it is all about. Of which I feel like it maybe prioritizes the existence of gender roles. Yes.
Lane, I've not understood.
You need to know that women are also functioning members of the society, and which they have their roles, of which men can't do that. The same applies to men. We have our things which we do, and women can't do that.
Okay.
However, when it comes to those guys who are so radical, they come off as people who think that we are equal and we can both do the same things. But when it becomes practical, okay, now reality kicks in.
What's an example of some of these roles that are for men and some that are for women? Besides giving birth and impregnation.
The word impregnation is...
I think that for me that's the biggest trick.
Yeah.
That's the biggest trick with that argument.
Yeah.
That might have been true at some point. Maybe like when guys were fighting wars, shit like that. But even then, I think that like there were women who were fighting. But that, besides that, like in a modern society, I don't know if we can really say that there's like things that women can do that men can do and men can
Aside
do.
As I
from
was closing my statement, I
and
said, when it becomes practical,
Yeah.
that's where a reality slaps comes in. Fine, this thing is all true in reality. A woman can be a mechanic. You can find her in Chikubo carrying a full 100 kilogram sack of beans. Yes, but now put it in practical. Can it happen?
You're saying that even if logically speaking, we can both do the same things. In society, we do not do the same things.
No society. Fine, it can be like that in society. But is there like any practical application of it? The equality, are we applying it in the society we are living in? Is there any practical
think that's
application?
the feminism argument, that the design of the patriarchal system is that the equality cannot be practically applied. That these certain situations shall not facilitate the presence of a woman because they have been designed by like that. That's
So
what
you
the
get like
patriarchy
it's
is.
more systemic
Yes.
than practical. Is that what I'm trying to
It
say?
is systemic.
Yeah.
It's like for instance, if they're hiring like let's say an enforcement role, right? And they say they want someone who will like let's say, it's a time I saw an ad for an enforcement officer NEMA. So you're gonna
That's
go
enforcement.
As you know,
enforcing the law, yeah.
So
you
guys are encroaching on your wetlands.
so you're gonna go with the police because obviously in NEMA you have to go with the
okay.
police or
I get.
and you're gonna go and you're going to go find these guys who have like encroached into wetlands, are building into wetlands. You seize whoever is on site. You da.
I get
Stuff like that. And when I was going, so I saw the role and I don't know who I was talking about it with them. They were like, for such roles they consider men. Like you'll apply for the sake of applying, but they never hire women. I was like, okay, but there are women who can do that job. But the system has been structured in such a way that, what do you mean? You get, there are very many different types of women. I might not be the type of man who can do that job, but there are women who can do that job.
It's I think that it's but first of all, you explained that perfectly, especially the first part. You explained that perfectly of the patriarchy being a system. But now you tell us what you think of that.
What I think of the sub,
and what we've said as well.
Okay, about the sub, about saying it has become pointing out vices and whatnot.
I remembered what I wanted to say.
Oh, what did you want to say?
I don't want to cut you off as well.
No, it's okay. Say it.
I think the part of feminism that I find difficult for me, but I also get it, is the fact that many times there's no, I love discussion, and I think society strives with disagreement. But like the number of times I've tried to like interact, there's never a place for a round table. Does that make sense? So for me, that's the thing I find difficult. Like I love to talk about these things, but like if the conversation begins, it's always like, go study, go read. Them ones there. You get.
I have the perfect piggyback of that. Are you finished? Because I think that that's now the issue. That's the issue that I see with some of this discourse. Radical feminists and feminist scholars in general are extremely well educated on their theory. And I have some radical feminist friends. They literally like continuously educate themselves, as in they'll meet on a weekly or a monthly basis and discuss the theory and like different, like they're so serious about learning about this thing, like they're in deep, right? And the people who are attempting to have this discourse with them, men, I don't know what the opposite theory to feminist theory is, but let's just say people who are in defense of the patriarchy, a lot of the times don't even...
Are uneducated on the topic.
They're uneducated, but they don't even realize that a patriarchy exists. And that they live in a system that is defined as the patriarchy. That makes sense? So you end up now being in a position where they're explaining something to you from a place of knowledge, and then for you, you're kind of explaining from a place of like...
vibes.
Feelings, like it feels like you're coming at me.
Being attacked and retaliating.
And you see, because a lot of men, we don't care about it as much as they care. So guys are not even like sitting down to educate themselves. They're like, man, these chicks are just like angry women. Come before them, they're extremely well educated about this thing, and they have like a mission and they know what they're up to. And you're getting in a way, but you're getting in a way ignorant. That makes sense. It would be a discourse if we also cared about learning about
like care
our
to learn
side as much as we do. That makes sense. So that's even why like it's a thing of like it might not be balanced.
Can you guys remember those guys are doing all their research, they are reading with confirmation bias?
What?
They're doing everything with confirmation bias.
That's true.
It may not necessarily actually explaining what is going on, but they already know the answer, and they are just meandering around to look for the working. How they reach the answer.
Like, or that they're approaching the education part of it having already reached a predetermined stance.
Who?
Women is what he's saying. That they come into this knowing at the end of this day, the villain is so and so, the victim is so and so. With said confirmation bias, whatever education they attain is utilized to fuel that bias.
I hear it. But they negate the fact that like one side is still getting educated.
They're attacking the guy with less details.
Like, again, it goes back to what I was saying. I get why that would happen. But now for me who loves discourse and I love reading and talking about things, like...
So why don't you also read that when you sit down and they tell you go and read, you say I read, and you cite what you read.
What I read.
Yeah, and I do.
Okay.
Yeah. Now,
until they are not oppressed, so...
Who isn't oppressed? The men.
Yeah. So they don't
so that's what I'm saying. Like I understand that. Yeah. But for me now, who loves round tables? It's kind of difficult when it's not there.
You need money
get.
there, bro.
But also, again, I get why it's not there.
Yeah.
So for me, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. I hear it.
Okay.
Sorry, we cut you off and
No, it's
overjudged.
fine. So now let me start this with a disclaimer.
Okay.
I do not identify as a radical feminist. I don't feel like I'm worthy. I've not put in the time and effort to be.
Radical.
Yeah, I'm a bit lazy. However, I am a feminist.
The fact that you're saying you're lazy, it means like you haven't achieved what you want to achieve.
Yeah, I want to. I'm just
You want to
lazy.
become radical.
If I could, I would. But the time and energy, I don't have it.
That's fair.
But I am a feminist.
Why were you jazzing for me
Number
after looking at you when this guy talked about it?
Number 2, I do not identify as a misandrist. However,
What's misandry? The hate.
someone who hates men.
Okay.
The opposite of...
Misogynist. However, if after what I say, you think I'm a misandrist, I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I literally could not care less. We proceed. So this person said, oh, vices, da-da-da-da. I need you guys to understand that this thing is so deeply rooted, ingrained within the system and the world that there are almost no practical and feasible tools to use. Naming and shaming, i.e., naming vices and the perpetrators of said vices, is one of the only tools we have, right? I'm going to give you a few examples. When I was in law school, fourth year, we've studied the law for 4 years. We've studied about rights for 4 years. Someday, we're in a discussion group. My discussion group, we were about 13, 3 guys, 10 girls. It was actually a guy who asked. He said, who here is a feminist? Do you know how many hands went up?
0.
We were 3. 3 chicks.
In our class.
Not of a group of 10 girls.
Oh, 10 girls. I thought
Yes.
10 guys,
No.
3 babes.
10 girls, 3 boys. So the boys said they're not feminists. The girls also, majority said they're not feminists for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Some just said, no, we can never be equal. Some, it was a religious POV. Some of them are just traditional conservative girls. And now you see, for me, my understanding, also something we should take note of is that like any other theory, like any other thing we study, the Bible, the what, everybody has a different interpretation of it. My interpretation of feminism is not only equity, it's choice. It's granting women the freedom of choice. Now, because that is how I interpret feminism, when I see 7 women telling me that that is not their fight, I grant them the grace. I'm like, you know what?
Calm.
Feminism allows you to say that for me, that's not something I believe in. That's what feminism is. Feminism is not the patriarchy that will say, because you were born with breasts and a kiwi fruit, you're meant to do this type of work. No. For me, my understanding of feminism is that I can choose to say, I am this type of woman. I will not be traditional. I will not do ABCD. While the woman next to me will say, I will be traditional. That's feminism to me. That we can both coexist. Number 2. If you remember Newton's third law of motion.
Action and reaction.
Hey, that one.
For every
Action, there is an
equal but opposite reaction.
Reaction.
For the last, I don't know how many years, hundreds and hundreds of years, the system has been built to oppress and suppress us. So much so, I tried to, when I saw this thing today morning, I saw it as like, I got out of bed, I checked my phone, notifications, so I was brushing my teeth and I said anything about it. And I tried to remember the first time a man did something to me that was icky. I don't remember how old I was. I remember I was in lower primary. When I told my nanny, oh, so-and-so, what did he do? Like, I think I was trying to fall asleep. Those things of they've told you go and sleep after lunch. And he was like a neighbor. And I don't know why he was in our house. I think he had come see one of my brothers. He came into my room, and as he was talking to me like you're on the bed trying to nap, he was like touching my thighs or something like that. So, the first question the nanny asked was, what had you done? What were you doing? Or something like that. Because that's how the system is. That's what she has been taught. That even as a victim, it's my fault.
Like you seduced him or something.
Something like that. Mind you, I was like 7 or 8. Right? I do not know a woman in my life that has not suffered at the hands of a man. I don't know one. And I don't even mean this petty relationship suffering. I mean one form of harassment, violence, or physical insult. I don't know a single
Emotional
woman.
as well, to be fair.
Even emotional. There's a time like 3 years ago, I was walking on the road A man crossed the road, came next to me and grabbed my ass. It was after lunch, 2 p.m. Broad daylight. So, if you tell me that I cannot vice shame, I cannot name and shame, what tool do I have to create said equity? There is nothing tangible that exists. So we have to use whatever we can create. And right now, vice naming and shaming works. Bullying works. Look at the Me Too saga. The Me Too saga exposed hundreds of creeps. That was vice naming and shaming.
Still is. Yeah.
That is a tool that we are using because we have very few tools in our artillery.
What did the person say in their sub? Because I didn't even remember the vice
That instead of striving to create an equitable environment, we have turned it into men versus women. It has always been men versus women.
Yeah.
The designers of the system were men. Right? And as we exist right now, the way society has molded and shaped us, a patriarchal society, even women are misogynistic. You'll see women who not only don't believe in the cause, will harass feminists. If you don't believe in the cause, Kawa, why are you harassing a feminist? You're a woman. I'm fighting for you. Because tomorrow they will tell you that even though you were raped, you have to keep the baby. You understand? Vice naming and shaming is one of our greatest tools, if not our only tool. It is so important to what feminists do. It's so important to the cause. Because in this world, men fear only two things. Fellow men and embarrassment. That's it. That's why they fear being poor, because they don't want to be embarrassed in front of men. That's why they fear dating a certain type of chick, because the only thing that matters to men is fellow men's opinions of them.
You're cooking, bro.
You get?
You're cooking.
Men only fear fellow men and embarrassment. Embarrassment as pertained or perceived by men.
Even they
You
marry
get.
to get respect.
So even, remember Melvin, the day when I asked you, the day I asked you and I said, oh, like, you told me about you're going on a walk in the evening or something like that, and I told you, you don't fear? He was like, man, at most I'd fear like a guy robbing me. For me, my first thought of when I'm like alone on the road is, okay, he could rape me and kill me. You understand?
Yeah.
Yes.
Among other things. Because there's a lot of, like, I guess, smaller things that
Exactly.
For me, a guy's not going to walk across the road.
The spectrum is broad,
That's
bro.
not,
Yeah.
if that happened to me, I would first also be I might also grab his ass. Like,
Pause.
like, we do like that.
Like,
Camera,
yeah.
like it's a game. Is this cheap?
Yeah.
I'm playing.
So,
Yeah.
so me, I'm thinking, mind you, and the raping and the murdering is not even going to negate that there's also the robbing,
Other things that
which can happen to a man. You get? I don't know if you guys saw this trend on socials a couple of years ago where they would ask chicks, what would you do if there were no men on earth for 3 days? And the things they were naming were basic things. It was like, I would be able to go outside when the sun has set. I'd be able to go on a walk alone.
I remember this.
I would be able. You understand? Do you know that anytime I see the sun setting and I'm alone on the road, do you know the speed with which I rush to my house? Because I'm thinking, if a man finds me on this road when it's dark, nobody's going to say, poor Casper was murdered. Why was she on the road alone at 8 p.m.?
Yeah.
That's the first question.
Literally,
What was she wearing? What do babies wear to get raped? You get? So in a system that has been structured to destroy and frustrate us, you can't take vice naming and shaming away. You cannot say it's not men versus women. It is men versus women. The system was built by men.
Yeah.
It is
You
being
can't
perpetrated by
separate the
men.
two.
You cannot. And if you expect me to sympathize or empathize with a man and his cause, hell will freeze over before I do. That's all I have to say. We proceed.
You've cooked. You've cooked.
Aurelia, bro.
Aurelia. Good.
Aurelia is
Okay, let's do some subs, bro.
Let's do some
We'll
subs.
deal with Elon Musk and them on Patreon. What else
Okay.
we're supposed to discuss?
That was it.
Cedric Babu as well. R.I.P. him.
Yes,
Oh.
man. R.I.P. Cedric Babu.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
we can say that real quick.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
DJ Bush Baby.
And DJ Bush Baby. Those are some RIPs we need to
R.I.P.,
definitely get out of
man.
the way. Both very influential
Prolific,
people in the
Their fields
and
in the
the creative
nation.
industry.
Yeah.
Because Cedric Babu was a podcaster as well.
Yeah.
DJ Bush Baby, of course, we know what he did, man, in the music scene. Extremely like recognizable name. Yeah, man, and we thank them for their service and for their contribution, man, to the culture and to our society. And we send their families our condolences. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's do
R.I.P.
Let's do some
May their
subs.
souls rest in eternal peace.
Amen.
Okay, let's do some subs.
Hey.
Okay. Melvin is so fine.
Aurelia.
Aurelia.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, I can never tell the difference between Sydney and Shane Spector. Are they siblings?
You need to put them together.
You guys.
Just show you that it's not the same guy. Like,
I'm so
put them
dead.
in the same
They've
place.
never been
and
seen-
put them
they've
in
never
the
been
clearly
seen
not
at
seen
in the
us
same place.
fully,
And you know
bro.
the funniest
Does
thing?
Shane even have a beard? I don't think so.
He
He
does.
does.
He does.
There's a time that Sydney couldn't make it to the pod and Shane sat in.
Yeah.
So that is so funny, bro. That is
That's
so funny.
crazy.
Yeah.
Now we don't look alike. I don't think so.
They don't look alike at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Maybe they're built similar,
And what the head shape?
and maybe that. But
I guess.
he's darker skinned.
Yeah.
Darker
darker.
skinned, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Does Melvin want a girlfriend? There's a really pretty, petite, lightish skinned, rich girl in London who has mentioned that she's interested in him. She's about to move back to Uganda too. She's finishing her master's.
Is she an
That chick has
aristocrat?
sent
him to
a
lock
few
in.
representatives, man. Have you seen?
Hey.
This is the exact same description that they gave us last time on the pod. Exact same.
So, babes, do you want to look in or?
Listen, they said she's rich.
She has to be she's an aristocrat, bro.
an
Yeah.
You're ready to be the beard.
That's so funny.
Are you ready to look in?
Listen, I'm outside, man.
Yeah.
I'm outside. Cash me outside.
And so she's getting a master's.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
in London.
That means I don't have to do one.
Yeah.
You're up. Oh, that's our
Let me tell you,
master's.
we
Our
are
master's.
going to
Master's first.
podcast. We're
Don't invite
opening
me
a
to our
third
grad.
patron. You wait.
Don't invite me to our grad.
Okay. Met Melvin at Strictly Soul. Such a chill guy. You all should keep up the good work for real.
Thank you.
Casper, please call me.
You know the funniest thing though, before we go into your thing? I felt like at this Strictly Soul, I was in my chillest. I mean, I don't know what. Maybe outwardly, I be looking like I'm chilling.
You're a
Yeah,
chill
you
guy,
look
bro.
just look chill.
Chill
Okay,
guy.
okay.
Yeah.
You look super chill and you look super nonchalant.
Okay.
Kumbe, you really you love to
I
shalant,
be feeling
bro.
mixy, bro. I was feeling so mixy at this. I was like, bro, I was all over the place. That's what I was thinking the next day. I was like, bro, I touched every corner of that tent, bro.
No.
I interacted with every group that I knew.
You just look
I just
chill.
mixed a few. I just
You
mixed
didn't see someone commenting on that age in Ugandans love to look sleepy, bro.
Yeah, I saw that thing.
I have died.
But
That's so funny.
Ugandans look sleepy for no reason.
Yeah.
That is so funny. Wide awake. Okay.
Casper, please call me. You know what? We're tired of this. Next time in your anonymous sub, just
What's your
send the
number?
number. We call you live
Yeah.
on the pod.
Yeah, on air.
Yeah, we're gonna call you. on
We
air.
can do that by then.
Yeah, we
just
can do
from
that.
here.
Okay. Hey guys, love the pod. Been watching for a while now, and having grown up in Kampala, Bugo specifically, but now living in Nairobi, you guys cure my homesickness every week.
Nice.
P.S. I will definitely be subbing more. I got a few dilemmas I'd like to hear all your opinions on. Mob love for Mob Jazz.
Lovely,
Nice.
lovely.
Melvin.
Come to Silo Restaurant.
You're a fool.
Come to Silo Restaurant. Since whenever you're in
Melvin.
Bugos.
The rings, it's giving effort.
Listen.
Aurelia,
Man, they say you get out your Aurelia
Why
and
not,
put
man?
it on,
And
man.
in fact, them they haven't even seen this episode yet. So if they thought it was giving effort before,
Yeah.
I had to
Hey.
take them out of my pocket and hold them for the pod. Hella effort, bro.
Yeah.
What's the formula again in physics? Effort plus load equals what?
Is it E equals to MC square? MC.
No.
That's energy.
That's
Yeah,
energy.
effort plus load.
Oh, the full cram thing.
Yeah.
What's
I
that?
forgot it.
Effort plus load is equals what? Not plus.
Load plus effort.
Load plus effort equals what? Work, power, energy.
Ah. You guys, every day we show the subscribers that we are
This is an
this.
embarrassment to
This is
me.
not the
But you who did pay me,
physics, yeah.
Wendy.
Give us the formula.
You're
guys.
the guy,
There's
bro.
something that it's
Yeah.
effort plus load.
It was the
that
pulley
gives
thing.
something,
Yeah, full cram. What?
Yeah.
Them ones there. I remember.
I feel like
There's
it's
something.
the product of load and effort.
Is what?
Power.
Power.
Movement.
Yeah, I think it's product of load and effort. I think it's power. And then
Okay.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
there is a division
Yeah.
somewhere. But it's load over power over load equals to effort, something like that. Anyway.
We have a big teenage audience, man. Tell us.
Yeah,
That's
guys.
some guys doing physics. Tell us.
Okay. Casper's addition to the pod was a very good move. Her emotional maturity and ability to somehow get the pod through risky conversations is top notch. Otherwise, if it were a fully bro pod, Wendy's takes would have gotten you guys cancelled months ago.
Listen,
Casper brings rationality and balance.
listen, that's the point, bro. Equity.
Yeah,
3
equity.
men, 1 woman.
You're a fool.
You know, yeah. If it wasn't for like people knowing that we are chill guys,
Yeah.
we would be cancelled because you cannot say that.
Honestly. But that's what equity is. It's not equality. It's like, that's what you
Equity.
need to balance.
Yeah,
things
3
out
guys,
almost
1 woman.
See the, you know that like an image of 4 guys trying to peer over a wall.
Yes.
So
with
the
a
really
box
tall
and-
guy
yeah.
doesn't need a box.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then there's a really short
There's
guy
a
who
kiddo.
needs 4 boxes.
Yes.
There's a guy who needs 1 box. But the aim is for all of us to peer over the wall.
Watch,
That's,
yeah.
That's
equity.
equity.
That's equity. For
Equality is giving all of them boxes, man.
Equality is giving all of them one
sure.
box.
For sure.
Okay. I'm listening to this most recent pod, as in the PLE pod. And you guys are so funny. I love the pod so much. Keep it up, guys. You're doing amazing. I'm so sat for every episode.
So what?
Nice.
Sat.
Sit.
The past tense of Sydney. Okay. YouTube sub, please. Okay. Just released a beauty that's my type. She doesn't like me back like that, and I'm probably not her type. We've been texting for 6 months now, and I've failed at the long game. Damn, it hurts. P.S. I'm low-key delusional and was quietly in love and saw a future.
I understand this thing. That's understand that sounds familiar.
He
bro.
says, what are your thoughts / experiences?
That one hurts. That one hurts.
Yeah.
The chick has too much earlier for you, man. You just have to keep it pushing, bro. Like, man. Stop.
6 months,
Yeah.
though, of the Lulu.
Yeah.
I don't think you released even. I think they released you before,
Yeah.
man. It's
No, but
We know
you
those
guys,
ones.
People be delusional for years, bro. People be delusional for 10 years. People in relationships with people for 10 years.
But here
And
they weren't in a relationship.
But you know, you can be sent on a lap for 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years.
light work. A decade.
6 months
You can.
in a talking stage.
Yeah. Guys get
Would never
played.
be you.
Guys get played.
Yeah, man. We know you, man. You be But
Anyways,
yeah, that one hurts, man. You just have to keep it pushing. I know what you're saying.
Wendy likes to act like he's like 2007 Alex Ferguson, bro. Like
literally
he's,
like he's a winner. Non-stop
like
winning.
Clutch.
He only wins.
Yeah.
You
Bro.
don't know what an L feels
you
like.
get.
Obviously, L's are supposed to be there, but don't stick around so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one hurts, but you have to keep it pushing, man.
I just finished this Mel Robbins book, I Let Them Theory. She has this line in it where she says, if she likes you, you'll know.
Yeah.
If you're confused,
She doesn't.
yeah. No. It's if she likes you, you'll know. If she doesn't like you, you'll be confused.
You're going to snap. You
That's a
guys are
joke.
so annoying.
That's a joke. That's what I was I was like,
Aurelia,
Mel.
Aurelia, Aurelia.
First repeat. That's a bar.
If she likes you, you'll know.
Yeah.
If she doesn't like you, you'll be confused.
That's a bar.
That's a gem. So you did the right thing.
So I'm
mixed
so
signals.
glad I released my whole roster. I loved confusion, bro.
Yeah,
Aye,
see?
it was my favorite thing.
Yeah. If you're confused, bro.
Anytime I'd feel you sleeping away, I'd tell you I miss you.
See? So you see, that's why we need a woman on this spot. Just show you that, like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong to come there.
No, but like, how dare you move on from me? That's kind of rude, though.
See?
That's a
Anyway,
bar
man.
you get. First feel like
Yeah.
I'm not thinking back at like the times I've been confused.
Yeah, they never like
Just
you.
didn't
So if
like
you're
me like
confused,
that,
why don't you
man.
just ask? Ask for clarity.
I've
But
asked.
women lie. As in,
Yeah,
go
I've
ask.
asked,
Go
bro.
ask. Hey, digga, you're lie. You're lie.
Women can lie.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, yeah. You did the right thing, and man, we're praying for you in this tough time.
You'll get to
Stay strong.
Yeah.
this tough time.
Stay strong.
Yeah.
Block her.
Yeah.
Mute everything.
Relax.
Because let me tell you, that chick will
Cut
come and tell you I miss you,
communication.
bro. You have seen the template.
Yeah, cut
Yeah.
communication, bro.
Yeah.
What's the modern term for cutting communication?
Go no contact.
Go no contact, bro. Go no contact. For
Why are you guys hearing all these things?
go no contact for
TikTok.
like, by like 60
don't
days.
just
You know
You
what
guys
happens
are
when you're in
consuming the
rehab?
same. They're connected to the
Rehab,
same
you go
Wi-Fi.
clean for
I don't just
60
TikTok.
days.
And that's all it takes.
Yeah. Let me
But
tell you,
some-
you
sometimes
have
you're a hardcore
the
addict.
whole summer, bro.
You do it again.
Yeah. By the end of summer, you'll be cover.
Listen, but then you're chilling. You've blocked her. You've got no contact.
Yeah.
and then you see her in someone else's snap, and she's still just so
Block that person.
immaculate, bro.
Mute that one also.
Let me tell you,
Anyone
by
who
the
has
way,
the audacity to post her while you're
you
going through
have
this.
to be radical while
Yeah.
you're
It's
getting
so
through
funny
it,
that-
bro. For the whole of summer.
It's like
Don't see that,
It's
babe.
like when you break up with someone, you want to see them getting ugly. You don't want them to be looking fine.
Avoid. That's when they even look the hardest.
Fine.
Avoid.
Fine. You look at her and
Avoid.
you're like, that's what that guy's telling you, man. That chick is a 10, bro.
Yeah, if she's a fine babe and she's not going to stop being fine. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
Newsflash.
She's going to get
She's not going
finer, bro.
She's just going to get finer.
Yeah.
Funny
contrary
enough,
to
the
your
guy she
wishes
actually
and
likes,
prayers.
the guy she actually likes might even treat her better, bro. She
Yeah.
might have made the right choice.
Oh, babe, just so you know, this is not a Nigerian movie.
Nah.
Don't think now
Yeah.
she's going to lose her job. She'll marry a funny guy.
Yeah.
Then come
She
back
might
to you
marry the
begging,
richest
brother.
guy you
That-
know.
I'm sorry,
And
bro.
he'll
You just
treat
have to
her
keep it pushing,
extremely
man.
well,
Yeah.
and she'll live a happy life after
Yeah,
that. Bro.
yeah. This is not a
Anyways.
Nigerian movie.
Yeah.
And she will see you and not be moved, bro. She'll just say
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Sorry, man.
She won't
You have
even
till
recognize
August.
you, by the way.
Yeah.
Even of her, she has no hard feeling.
Yeah, man.
She had a wonderful time.
I can even invite you to her wedding, bro.
She had a blast, bro.
Yeah.
So just do it for you, man.
Yeah,
Do
man.
it for you. It
Detox,
was fun while
bro.
it lasted.
Detox.
Like, well, for you, you're there, like, when she passes, your boys are like, man. For her, when you pass, her friends are like, oh, Bambi, he used to be my
Yeah.
girl
Oh, man, that is so
friend.
lovely.
Nothing hurts so much
When
than
you're
like
there trying to act out.
hating someone when that person
Doesn't
doesn't
care.
don't even know that you even
Matter of
hate
fact, she
them,
likes
like,
you.
bro.
And it will be worse when your boys are telling you, man, but you thought you were mob.
But man, I saw you with that chick. I feared you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
He's ambitious.
Maybe he knows what he's doing. Man. Maybe he knows what he's doing. Maybe he has a plan. He has a strategy.
There's some foolish boys I was friends with in LDC.
Yeah.
So when they saw like a really hot chick get with like a guy they didn't rate, like, seems that guy has some hidden family money. Like when they say vibing, but seems maybe he has some money we don't know about.
Guys are weak.
Anyways,
Amazing pod, guys. When are you doing a collab with Sabrina?
Soon.
yeah, I think we even talked about it on that pod.
Yeah.
Hopefully July.
Our audience has been asking her as well,
Hopefully,
bro.
yeah.
So soon.
Do you think it's possible to be an ethical billionaire?
No, in my opinion. This is why. Billionaires, yeah, you don't work for 40 years and become a billionaire. There are some things you have to do, bro, to get that kind of money. And I'm talking US billions. Yeah, because shillings, man.
Man, leave our money, man.
Yeah, there are things you have to do to get that kind of money. So,
I won't lie, even here to make $1 billion. You have to.
yeah, to be fair, not now me as considering you go outside and work from
do
there
some
and do
things.
some jazz day.
You have to do
But
something.
I do not like see the word ethical is you've done everything right according to the law and
Morality.
yeah, morality. Like the word ethical is long. Can you become a billionaire lawfully? I think so.
Ethically?
Ethically? No. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think that you can. I agree with you guys in the sense that maybe there's not ethical path necessarily to becoming a billionaire. But I think after you become a billionaire, you can become an ethical person.
You can rebrand. Eh?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
Now you have the money,
I
man.
guess.
Now
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
funny, you're
I
like,
guess,
man,
yeah.
I did some things to get
But you
this
see,
done, but now that I have
You
it,
now,
Like-
you now start identifying as a philanthropist.
literally.
You start all the
most
charities
billionaires
under
do
your
that.
name,
Yeah.
bro.
That's what most of them do.
It's
If
time
you
to
guys
clean
ever
up your
see
image.
JP
Time to.
organs,
Now I can do things for the community. I can build schools. I can build
If
hospitals.
you guys ever see the Sydney Natuhamia charity,
yeah,
Hey.
no.
I'm bathing, bro.
But it's
Yeah.
the same thing with like the UN and a lot of these rich countries. Like that wealth has not been acquired ethically,
Yeah.
but now they use it for all of these humanitarian like causes.
Causes.
I mean, if you dip it, like the richest country is the UK.
Yeah,
They
we know what they
divided and
Thieves,
conquered all
thieves,
of us, bro.
thieves,
So
thieves.
I don't ethically is a bit tough. A bit
Yeah.
tough, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
You've
my
seen
opinion.
that thing of go. If they could carry the pyramids, they'd be in the museum.
Literally.
Yeah,
They did,
if
bro.
they could.
They did. They did.
Literally.
They didn't carry the structure. Everything in that
Yeah.
structure, they took it, bro.
And I don't think we can devolve into now an argument of like whether capitalism itself is ethical and
That's a
just,
much
just
longer.
being a billionaire, well, that's ethical as well.
Because let me tell you, if I had like $1 billion shillings, bro, it would become millions real quick.
Yeah.
Buy all my boys whips.
But $1 billion to become millions,
Yeah.
tough.
tough.
Especially if you're like the Bezos, Elon Musk levels.
But
Tough,
having $1 billion in Uganda is even like more unethical, bro.
Ma.
Than having $1 billion in the States. Like, because like in the States is an economy that can make a billionaire just based off the size of the market.
Yeah.
To
In
get
Uganda?
$1 billion here,
$1 billion,
and
yeah.
to boldly say that you have it in a country with people as poor as the people here.
What's the GDP?
In Uganda?
Oh.
I don't know actually.
That's an interesting question. Check. Chat.
But like, nah. Our economy should not
But
even
I
be
know-
able to like have like a proper billion.
I know, what was the figure? 60% of Ugandans live below $7. I mean $1.
And you're worth
A billion
bro.
of them.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That is
I
greed.
think it's $1 a day, something
That
like
is
that.
gluttony, bro.
Gluttony.
That is gluttony, bro.
That's mob day.
Anyways.
For you to keep to yourself,
Bruh.
that's too much money.
Yeah. You should be at every funeral and every wedding. Bro.
I've
As
died.
the top contributor.
Everyone in the population, bro. Yeah.
I'm
It
not.
has reached 49B.
49 billion. Uganda.
Imagine that.
That's crazy.
Imagine if one guy has just
A
billion
bill.
of it. As in,
Our
you
kind
can-
of
one
like
individual in a country of what are we now, like 60 million, 40 million,
50 something.
50 million, 60 million.
I think we're 48.
We're like 50 something.
50 now, eh?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Be like the
Did they ever give us
Satoshi
the
guy.
statistics of the census?
Of the
I don't know,
census.
bro.
I don't know.
First check.
I don't know. And that thing was a year
The
ago.
census of last year.
The thing is a year late.
The figures you're giving us.
The figure is for 2024.
Okay, now first check the
How many-
census.
yeah, what's the population?
If they give us the statistics and the demographic.
Okay,
I'm no longer seeking it because I'm always disappointed. But how do you make friends who don't want to sleep with you?
They are there, man.
How bad are you?
They are there.
Melvin, you piss me off.
That's what will determine the answer to this question. How hard are you?
Alright, cool. Let me answer this.
What are you trying to say?
That is a
51.
bad chick.
51, man.
That's
There are
a bad
51
chick.
M in this country.
51 million.
Yeah.
That's a bad chick. Every bad chick I've ever spoken to has that exact same problem.
So do you think that the chicks you're friends with are not bad?
You're putting me in a sticky
Ah.
You see that car box there? That's why they have put you.
All the chicks that I'm friends with, do not have a lot of male friends. That's why I'm there.
They see it. The
I'm
way
the
we-
one who they can trust not to try and sleep with them. Because almost every other one is going to try and sleep with them.
That's why the pulley comes in load and effort, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
if the load is heavy, like if you're
So
bad,
he's playing the fulcrum.
What am I? I'm the
this
fool.
guy is
I'm
in the
balanced.
seesaw. He's that Camido guy, bro. That's just balancing everyone. It's a bit tough, but let me tell you this.
You should see how she's looking at me, bro. Disgust.
I will tell you this. As a babe, there are 3 guys.
Yeah.
The ones who want to sleep with you.
Mm-hmm.
That's like 80%. The ones who wouldn't mind.
Who wouldn't mind? Like if offered.
Yeah. Literally.
That's
Valid.
like
Valid.
17%.
But I'm not going to reach for yeah.
I'm not gonna look for it, but if it
Valid,
comes
valid,
around,
valid.
Now, the remaining 3%, those ones are like 2 in this city, bro. If you're bad. So, they're
That
there.
chick, so
They are there.
yeah, it's
But
a
the
chick, so you
figures
should
are
answer.
low, man. And here's the thing about friendship that guys need to understand.
Yeah.
It's try and error, man.
it is trial and error.
It's try and error. You will never find someone and you say, okay, this is, yeah, it's, man. That's what relationships are. Try, error. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Yeah,
You find out the guy wants to sleep with you, chill.
If you try to touch, that's an error.
Guys,
Yeah,
That's
don't
what
try
life
to
is,
touch.
bro.
Don't try to touch, bro. No, that's not the try and error we're talking about.
No, that's not the try and error. But
Yeah.
we're saying making the friend
Yeah, yeah,
is
yeah.
try and error.
Valid.
So if you've given up, I guess you've been through a lot.
yeah.
But every friendship is try and error, man. Just keep it pushing.
guys, aside pop culture, jazz, or occupational similarities, what else is there to speak about with ladies? I'm actually curious. I'm 100% curious.
You know, I didn't want
I can't
to.
believe it's the same episode where we talk
Talk
about
about feminism.
like that.
I
So
I didn't want to devolve into.
That is crazy.
I didn't want to devolve into the fact that I think most men are homosocial. I didn't want to go into that today.
Okay, that is.
But I think most men are homosocial
Oh, man, that is
Oh, Lord.
as opposed to heterosocial.
You know, if we didn't say these things while laughing, I promise you, this pod would have like
that-
2 viewers, bro.
That's
That's
so funny,
nuts to say.
That is so funny.
There are a lot
So
of things
Wendy,
you can talk about,
You
man.
don't have any female friend.
He doesn't. He told us.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have
yeah.
acquaintances.
Okay. I respect that.
Ah,
I respect that.
I mean, he knows, bro.
no,
Valid, man.
that's actually so funny.
So you said apart from
Apart from
Economic
pop
things
culture,
and
pop
pop
culture
culture.
and career things.
yeah.
What's
else
there
do
to
you
talk about?
women, bro?
What do you talk about with your male friends? PlayStation, football.
He's not even a
I'm
football
looking
guy.
at this, so there's a bunch of things to talk about. And
So
the
you've
things
never
I,
met a nerdy
and the
chick?
You've
things
never
I
met a
talk
nerdy
about
chick.
They are there. Daddy
Okay,
chicks
okay,
are mob.
when we are being nerds. Okay, first of all, I'm not an anime fan.
What? Anime fan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anime babes are also mob.
No, I
I'll
mean,
tell you
what's your freak? Like, what's your nerdy? What
What
thing
is
are you
what kind
nerdy
of
about?
nerd are you?
Chick has to watch Marcus Brownlee every day. Puts out
I'm
a
not
video,
techie,
she's
like,
there.
I like science,
Okay,
and it's
So-
it's
so
a
if
rare
you
thing
met
to
a
find
chick-
women wanting it as well.
there are chicks
Liking
there are
it
chicks
as
who
well.
like that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go and
for
date
sure.
them, man. They
Yeah.
are there. They are there.
Sure.
You have to be super
Let me tell you, by
enthusiastic
the way.
about it as well.
Those girls
But you
are
see,
many.
what the problem is when you meet that type of girl.
Mm.
Instead of thinking she's gonna be my friend,
You're like, man.
Man, this is
Hey,
wifey,
bastard,
bro.
man.
Yeah.
my name was man.
In
This chick
fact,
might
as a
be
matter of
wifey.
fact, guys will meet that type of chick and then ignore all
Oh,
of her interests and just focus on getting some.
That is true,
Like,
bro.
just focus on
Because
how to get some from this
This
chick.
guy is going to meet a chick. The chick says, I want to buy an RTX 4070. And the first thing you're like, damn, we have the same interest. You just go
Right?
to like,
He'll even come to the pod and say, man, guys, I met some chick. I think she might be my wife. Man. She was talking about RTX, whatever, 10 GX, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can combine like 4 things in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
But
can
that-
see
that's
where I'm
true.
disappointed.
That's true. Yeah, for you, an acquaintance.
Yeah.
You're a workmate.
Man,
What is
a
it?
colleague.
Economic.
Career stuff and pop culture. That's so funny. What's the name of that test that they say movies have to pass? What is it called? The what? Belchers?
Yeah. Yeah.
Belcham.
I've forgotten the name, but yeah, I know what you talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, I've died, bro.
Wendy.
That's so funny. Anyway, where were we? You answer this question.
How do you get friends who don't want to sleep?
Her question.
Eh?
Her question.
Yeah, like she said, how do you get
52 minutes.
1 hour 52.
I know, 50.
1 hour 52.
Over jazz.
over jazz? How do you get friends who are not gonna want to sleep with you? Guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's luck. And I don't even want to say it in terms of, oh my god, I'm bad. No, nothing like that.
How you looked at me? You looked at me for a long time like,
Your luck, bro.
Yes.
You be there.
Yeah.
You lucked out on you, man.
I've died. No. Okay, to be honest, also, I don't seek out male company. No. I'm a girl's girl. I enjoy women's spaces. And I can go very
So do I.
foolish. And for me, so I don't seek it out. It happens accidentally. And when it's genuine and sweet, I enjoy it. When I realize that this person is one of the 80%, one of the 17, of either they want to touch or they would touch if offered. Kawa, since you want something from me, I utilize whatever you're willing to offer.
But also, if they touch, it's dependent.
Or they will never touch. If that's your method, never.
Casper, let me tell you something, yeah? I approach dating logically, whereby I first do the math and then see the chances, the probability of me winning or not. So here's the thing. Sometimes men can come into your space and they try to talk to you when they actually want to touch. But when they see that the chances are
Quite
close to
low.
zero, but the fact that you're bad, and
They
remember
want
this thing you said that why men like the respect,
yeah,
he will stick around. The fact that
to
he's
get respect
hanging
from other
around
men.
a bad chick,
Yeah.
you get.
Do I do that?
I mean, why I say I lucked out, okay, it's about luck. Melvin's not attracted to me. Melvin only befriends girls he's not attracted to. Or he didn't find attractive, whatever. So, what does that mean? I know for a fact. I know my friend, and I know what he's attracted to. I know my friend. But,
Melvin.
but listen,
Yeah.
anytime you're friends with a guy who's attracted to you, you can
tricky.
pretend like you don't know.
Yeah, it's
You
tricky.
know.
It's tricky.
You know he's attracted
It's
to
tricky,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Tricky, yeah.
And if you continue to, because even when you're having that argument, but we're friends, but you know he's
Yeah,
attracted to you.
you're
Like,
dancing
when-
around the fire.
Yes, you're dancing on the fire.
Flammable clothes.
You
You
better be
get-
a salamander, bro, because that fire might burn
Brother,
you.
I know you're going to be grilled, char grilled, like but
That's
do
true.
what you want to do. But anyway, I don't seek male friendships out. They happen accidentally, and if we vibe, we vibe. If we don't, we move on. I think women are more interesting and entertaining anyway. So.
Melvin.
Now for me, bro.
Melvin.
You seek out women friendships.
In your dating backup
Yeah.
or your dating archive,
Yeah.
you mean
Okay,
all the people who are there are your type?
In my dating,
Yeah, are
Like
a
the chicks you have
variation of
dated.
his type. Yeah.
yes, but also I'll say this. Some of my best friends have come from relationships with women who I liked.
As in, they were friends of girls. He
Yeah,
liked.
like they were friends of chicks who I
Yeah,
liked.
let's not get it
But
twisted.
you know that thing
There is
that
being
statement
attractive.
you've made,
Yeah.
it makes you guilty.
Of
The fact that you can't date your ex's friends. You get?
no.
So you're with them because you're still keeping this thing, man. It's not,
No.
it's not ethical to date
No.
my
No way, no,
girlfriend.
they're not
No.
friends and all
These
that.
That's
are
my
girls
type.
he befriended or met because of girls
yeah.
he liked
While I
or
was
dated.
feeling, yes.
But then the girls he befriended, he's not attracted to. Like either way, if things were reversed, he would never have vibed these
Yes.
girls.
That's one
Yeah.
part. But then I'll say this: like, my statement remains: if you want to, at least as a guy, if you want to make friends, you kind of have to like,
No, it's okay.
I don't know, just be friendly to the people who you think you'd be friends with.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you have to intentionally try to be friendly with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But be friendly is key. You have to treat them as your bad days, bro.
Yeah.
You can't treat them as chicks who you're vibing
Yeah.
and give like mixed
And
signals.
Also,
it has to be clear.
don't get it
bro.
twisted. There's a difference between being attracted to someone and that person being attractive.
Yeah, of course.
There's a clear difference between that.
Oh yeah. We're not saying that people are unkind to the eyes. No. We're saying that they're just not your type. Someone
Yeah.
can be attractive, but they're not your type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, man. Yeah, is that the last one? How long have we done?
About 2 hours now.
Almost 2 hours.
Or 2 now?
Yeah, but I think we should
End of the dilemma.
call it at that.
Yeah, dilemma.
Let me see. Dilemma. Oh, this is just whoever picks the music on your Insta stories has a direct line to my nostalgia. It's me, guys. I'm the one who posts on Insta. I'm the one who picks music. I'm the one who takes the photos of the boys. It's me.
Yeah, no comment.
What are you trying to say?
I have a comment.
What's your
There is
comment?
no picture Casper's picture of me. That's clear, bro.
Today they'll be clear. Today,
Today?
I think guys like the blurry one, so if they don't like the clear one, something
Okay.
is afoot.
He doesn't know your cute side.
I don't know.
He needs to spend more time.
But I
with
tell
I'm
him, give
100%
me
cute,
something.
bro.
He gives me nothing.
Because I have nothing to give.
My dear. You're in the wrong business. Okay. I work 14-hour shifts at work, guys, in a bar, and I've been there 6 months. I'm seeking advice on how to get a different job that's 9 to 5 in finance. I'm a fresh grad as of Jan, but I think I've learned all that there is here.
Oh, in the bar place.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're in Uganda. Jobs are not that easy to come by,
Yeah.
but like honestly, the only advice is start applying, bro.
Yeah.
Right?
Man,
Start applying.
it's so nasty to hear and so disgusting. But I'll tell you this, though. I don't know whether I can say it. I'm very delulu and audacious in the way I do my things. So, a very big thing in Uganda, especially in the job market, a very big thing is desperation. Like, people make you feel like you should be desperate. And sometimes you are desperate. It might be financially, like you're badly off, right? But guys are like, bro, if they tell you to apply to be... Like, someone can tell you, man, I saw man some place that they're looking for Shamba boys, man. Relax. You get, like, like relax.
Yeah.
Like, there's some job ads guys can
The
send
whole
me,
degree,
eh?
bro.
And I'm like, I
I
am not
want a
applying
Shamba boy
for
with 4 years in,
this, bro.
in finance, man.
No, it's like, Shamba boy is needed, should have studied environmental sciences.
I know that
My
count.
bro, what does that have to do with me?
I know that count.
Like, you have to
And
go back
they
and study
add
environmental
a related field.
Or a relationship.
That
And I'm
thing
like, what the
pisses me
hell is
off.
that? And then you see some of the jobs people have sent to me. There's a job that said someone should have a diploma in law, not the postgrad one. I think the undergrad one. It didn't want a degree. A diploma in law and paramilitary training.
Paramilitary.
I said, what the hell am I supposed to do with this thing here?
Paramilitary
Yeah.
and law.
Yeah. Then my mom, when I showed my mom the thing, said, bro, my mom was like, do they want us curry?
But I low-key get it, man, because they're like,
too funny.
you need to know who to shoot and not
You
to
get-
shoot. You
and
better
I
have
was
studied
like-
the law, bro.
Yeah, so yes, apply. If you can afford it, if you can afford to stay there, if you're not in a very bad place mentally, or if you have some sort of financial support, then you can be audacious and be a bit selective, because that's for me how I do my things. But it's nasty, it's disgusting, especially if you don't have so-called gamba nogus.
I'll tell you this.
But
When I was applying for
eventually
jobs,
something pans out.
yeah, when I was applying for jobs, I used to set aside
Gamba no
like
who?
Gamba no.
2-3 hours a
Gamba
day
no.
to just applying. Every single day. Like 2-3 hours, and you're just checking everywhere, bro. Eventually.
Something like that.
Eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is coming from guys who no connect, bro. Like it was straight up applications and yeah, man.
Yeah.
But
Something
otherwise,
will
all
pan
the
out, man.
best. We know that struggle. It's nasty, and we're rooting for
And
you.
14 hours is
We believe in
mad.
you, man. We believe
14
in you.
hours
We
is
believe
mad.
in
For
you.
you, it's okay if you don't pay for Patreon.
Yeah. Talk to us. Talk to us.
Talk to us. We might
As
give
soon
you
as
an
get your
episode like
finance
this.
job like this. Patreon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Okay.
end on this one saying the silo background is tough. Top tier sport.
Thank you. Thank you.
And there's like a nice breeze right now, man.
Yeah.
I
This
won't
is
lie to
Silo
you.
Restaurant. No, not Silo Bar.
Yeah, this is Silo Restaurant.
Silo Restaurant
Opens at
from
1 p.m.
1 p.m. till
Till
5.
let's say about like
6.
7 p.m. Before the lights start flicking.
Hey, when you hear
Amazing food, amazing
Spectacular
drinks.
food. Today we had the hot pocket.
Oh, yes,
wrap.
we did. Wendy's going to insert the clip.
Yeah, you'll find where to slip that one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, but you should really come taste their food, man. It's really
Amazing. Actually, someone sent a sub. I can't find it now. And they said last Saturday they were somewhere around Silo.
Yeah.
And they were thinking of passing by, but then they chickened out.
Oh,
why are you
'cause-
chickening out, man? Hey, like,
oh,
To
'cause
say
we were
what's
here.
up.
Oh,
They were saying
we
we're
were
passing by
here.
to say what's up.
And last Saturday we recorded till a bit late.
Yeah.
we recorded when the music was starting.
You pass by, you'll sit on this college here and just watch us. Anyways, man, plans for the weekend?
I have plans tonight. I have dinner plans with a friend. I have dinner plans tomorrow as well. Monday I'm working.
Are you going to tell guys how you're not going to go on the... Was that Patreon?
That's Patreon dress.
Cool. Is it Monday?
what I was starting
Monday
with.
a holiday as well?
Yeah,
is a-
Heroes
it is a-
Day.
it is
But
a-
I have some work to do.
Okay.
You
I don't
guys?
have plans, man. Chilling.
Oh,
I'm going for a movie. That's a plan, I guess.
nice. I thought I was going to make it to book club. I don't think I'm going to make it. What time is it?
When do you
Or
attend?
something.
It's 4:17.
Okay, maybe I could make it. Yeah, man, that's it. I think I'll just head home and chill a bit more. Windick,
Nothing.
no plans. Okay, man. Thank you guys for watching as always. Remember to hug your dad, kiss your mom, check on your boys, text your babe, and most importantly, like Mel Robbins said, if she likes you, you'll know. If she doesn't like you, you'll be confused.
Be Aurelius, man.
Yo,
Take care.
cool.
Take care.
Bye.
Come us unite. Peace.